This is Chicago Hockey Radio with your hosts, Justin Lynch, Charlie Weber, Natalie Chibi, and Andrew Nolan.
Welcome back, CHR enjoyers. Happy Frundell Friday, baby. Let's go. The government let us get to Friday. They are absolutely furious right now. They let us get to Frundell Friday. Let's go, baby. Super amped to be here. Before we get going, a lot to get into today. We got a doubleheader of Blackhawks preseason action on the horizon this weekend. Very much looking forward to that. But before we do, subscribe to the CHR YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're still at 979 subscribers. We're 21 away from 1K. The big K, baby. Help us get there.
I'll make you guys a deal. I'm terrified of heights and skyscrapers, so if we get to 1,000 subscribers, I will go on Skydeck.
The Sears Tower. The Sears Tower, not the Willis Tower. It's the Sears Tower.
I will do it. I will do it, and I will film it.
What about the Hancock? You know, like the leaning towers up there?
I thought that was like...
It goes like 45 degrees
I thought that was
out,
discontinued.
doesn't it?
Yeah. Was it really?
I thought so.
Utter woke nonsense,
I don't
if true.
know, but like... I am terrified of heights. I heard skyscrapers like sway in the wind.
Oh yeah.
And like I just can't. Like my hands are getting clammy just thinking about it. So if we get to 1,000 subs, I will definitely do it. If we get to 1,000 subs by the start of the NHL regular season, I will do it.
Well, chat, you heard it here first. If you want to see that could be some good CHR Plus content right there in the future to see how Nat deals with the heights of a Chicago skyline.
My hands are like so clammy right now. It's not even funny. But I will do it if you guys get us to 1,000 subs by the start of the season.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your parents, if they want to see
tell
this
your
happen.
dog, tell your pets,
tell your dogs, tell your neighbors.
Yes, tell all your acquaintances in your life. I think we all want to see that. That would be absolute cinema, baby.
I can't.
You're getting nervous over there.
I am, you guys. So make sure you guys subscribe because, that will happen. I will do it.
Yeah,
I promise.
I will be there for that if we
We
hit
will
the
be there.
1,000 before.
We
yeah,
will,
we'll
in fact, be there.
I bet
Absolutely.
you will.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And don't forget, wherever you're listening to these podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review. 5. We really appreciate that a ton. Helps us out a lot. And don't forget about the CHR merch drop, baby. Check out www.alithionetwork.com to check out CHR merch drop. I'm wearing a hat right here, and the merch on there is much better than this hat. So if you want to get that, for sure, that would help us out a ton. Really appreciate that.
Shout out to Mrs. Lynch for that hat.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Mrs.
Really
Lynch.
appreciate that. Big time CHR enjoyer, always here supporting the streams. Really appreciate that a ton. All right, I think it's time to get into it, baby. The Blackhawks hour of CHR Friday. Very exciting stuff. It sounds like training camp has sort of settled down a little bit here following Tuesday's preseason game. I know Blashill spoke about how exhausted the group was after that game because that was basically 6 consecutive days of grueling skates leading up to it. So they've sort of kind of lowered the temperature of the last few practices to kind of, let the boys get their legs back under them and, a calmer practices of sorts, I would say, of late based on what I've seen. So that's good to see. We want to work these guys hard. We also don't want to overwork them. We want to make sure they have legs and ready to go for the games. And we got back-to-back coming up this weekend, so I want them ready for that for sure.
Yeah, and Charlie Remiliotis just released the Blackhawks lineup at practice. So for our forwards, we got on the first line Donato, Bedard, and Burakovsky. Second line Teravainen, Nazar, and Bertuzzi. And then third line, Foligno, Dickinson, and Ilya Mikheyev, sleeper fantasy pick from last year. And then fourth line, we have Doc, Green, and Lafferty. And then kind of on that fifth line, sitting the bench maybe, are Moore and Lucas Reichel.
What do you think about Reichel as the 14th forward there?
Honestly, you know what? I'm wearing my Lucas Reichel shirt today. Hopefully things get better. But, after that game, I'm not really surprised, but hopefully he wakes up. We got some demon too, right?
Absolutely. We got Vlasic, Renzel, pair 1. That's exactly the first pair I want to see, so I'm glad we've gone back to that because we haven't really seen it in training camp thus far, so good to see that.
Yeah, that's ideal, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I think those two complement each other well. And then we got Kaiser Levchinov. They're still rolling that second pair there, so good to see that top 4. No complaints there. And then we got Del Mastro Murphy, pair 3, and PTO man Matt Grzelcyk and Louis Crevier, pair 4. So a lot of competition for spots there in the decor. I mean, I didn't even mention Nolan Allen's name there. So a lot going on there. Korchinski, I'm not even seeing Korchinski here. So, which he seems to be lowest on the depth chart right there at the moment.
This is that NHL group for practice because they kind of split up, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Ben Pope spoke about that.
Korchinski and Allen and one other guy that was Lardis, they are working with that AHL group the past few days, but Blashill did emphasize that that's not all set in stone, and some of those guys are still competing for NHL spots.
Yeah, Blashill said that there are some guys in that second group who are still competing for NHL jobs, and they may mix up the groups a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, and then it sounds like you said, Korchinski and Allen will be in the NHL group tomorrow, and Grzelcyk and Crevier in another group. So, but yeah, it does sound like just based on the lines we've been seeing and kind of the combos they've been rolling in these practices, like we already have a pretty good idea of what the lineup's going to look like. And pretty much that lineup we just went through. I mean, I would say probably like 90% of these guys you feel pretty certain about their spots. It's really those last few, right? I mean, the question marks here are like who of which combination of Green, Reichel, Moore kind of takes that last forward spot, and the defense. It's kind of the top 4 is sort of set in stone. Murphy's going to have his spot. It's kind of a question mark who takes those 6th and 7th defenseman spots. Did not mean to do that, but that was easy.
Well, really nice, really
so
nice.
That's sort of the question mark there, and then we know who's going to be in net. So it's really just like a few spots. I would say maybe 3 or 4 spots that are sort of question marks. A couple in the lower forward slots, a couple in the lower D slots, but otherwise, like we kind of already know what the lineup's going to look like. Just a question mark about what the combos are going to be, and. Some of these definitely aren't really surprising. I mean, Tavo and Bird have definitely been, around Nazar quite a bit. They've definitely been trying to keep that line together. Yeah. So far, they've been really trying Burakovsky up there at Bedard. We'll see how that looks in game action. We haven't seen it in game action yet. Burakovsky, he was out for a little bit during training camp. I think he's back now. So I'm sure we'll see that, line rolled at some point. I'd like to keep Donato up there at Bedard. I thought those two, good chemistry those two developed last year. So no complaints there. And then Foligno, Dickinson, Mikheyev, it's a boring line, but it's an effective line, right? That's your defensive shutdown line. And then, then this is really where the competition begins. Doc, Green, Lafferty, Moore, Reichel. One of those guys at least is going to get sent down. So we'll see, what happens there. And then, like we said, the defense. Top 4 is figured out, and Murphy. So it's really between Del Mastro, Korchinski, Crevier, and then for that last spot. And then we'll see if they decide to give Grzelcyk a contract.
Yeah. And honestly, new segment idea. Natalie's Reichel rant of the day.
Oh boy, here we go.
I just want to say, if it's going to be Green, Moore, or Reichel, it seems like they're probably going to put him on center again. And I cannot deal with that. I can't deal with that. He doesn't belong there. He needs to be on the wing. I'm sorry. I say this all the time, but he does. And I don't know. There's something just a little strange to me about benching an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, I think with Reichel, it just sort of feels like the Hawks have kind of made up their mind on him, where it's like unless he grabs the bull by the horns and absolutely asserts himself a spot in this preseason, it feels like they're shopping him. I mean, we've heard from Friedman the Hawks have they've been listening, they've been willing to make a deal there, but just there hasn't been a suitor, there hasn't been interest in Reichel, so he kind of needs to perform too from that aspect, not just for his future potentially here, but if it's not going to work out here, he needs to show interested parties that hey, I could still bring it. So change of scenery could do him wonders. So we'll see. Again, it's early days here, right? We've only seen 1 preseason game, so we have a long way to go here, right? 5 more preseason games. I imagine he'll probably get a good chunk of those because he's one of those guys whose spots isn't guaranteed. So you only need to see guys like Bedard and Nazar so much, their spots are set in stone. So although I will say it's a little different this preseason because we have a new coaching staff. So I think you're going to see probably guys who wouldn't need to play so much preseason games probably get more time just to learn the systems because there's only so much you can do in practices and the like. So I'm sure Blashill wants the boys ready to go and up to speed in the systems by the ensuing Tuesday against Florida, which is about a week and a half away. So he's going to want to give him as much ice time as possible to sort of get up to speed in the new systems, the new special teams, and the like. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And for Reichel, I mean, I just don't see a way he doesn't start with the team because I just think sending him to Rockford
it's not
going
to
happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
That's the spots where
no more Rockford for you, buddy.
These young guys who aren't quite there, they need to be there.
The Moores and the Greens will get sent to Rockford, not Reichel. But he's at his time.
You did mention trade speculation around Reichel if he doesn't kind of fit this team and there's not really a spot for him come opening night. Other trade talks that I've been seeing, just kind of floated here and there is Kevin Korchinski.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about the Hawks' potential? It was mentioned earlier in the summer, but in the past week, with conflicting reports about him out of training camp, about how he looks, I think, it's ramped up a little bit more.
I think it's early.
I
Especially
agree.
Korchinski's he's 2 years younger than Reichel, and he's a defenseman. Defensemen tend to take longer, not always, but not at this point. I think it's too early for that. I know we've sort of, talked about that a little bit in the show last year, but, Korchinski's still only 21 years old. And if he needs a second year at Rockford, fine. It definitely feels like that's where they're leaning towards right now. I mean, I have a really hard time seeing him beat, all these guys for a spot in the defensive slot. Like that, like I said, that top four is set in stone. So then he's still got to beat out Dalmasho. He's still got to beat out Allen and Crevier and all these guys. So it does feel like Rockford is where he's going to start this year at least, and then he'll be the first guy that's kind of called up in case of injuries or if someone's struggling, needs to be sent down. Like he'll definitely get more than 16 games in the NHL this year. He had 16 last year. He's going to get NHL time this year. I just don't think it's going to be in October. I think they want to see more from him in Rockford this year. He was good with Ice Hogs last year, but it was up and down. He had some good moments, bad moments. He had a good showing in the AHL All-Star game. He was actually the All-Star game MVP, and he had a good run the Calder Cup playoffs for the Rockford Ice Hogs. But I think they want to see him more, in the top slot for each role, because he was kind of battling with guys like Lebshinov and Dalmasho. He was a lot of competition down there for spots even in Rockford. Whereas this year, he would be the number one PK, number one power play, number one pair, everything. He would definitely lead the team in ice time and be expected to be their best player on a nightly basis. So if that's good for him, if he needs a second year in Rockford, then fine. I think it's too early to give up on Korchinski. He's taken a little longer than maybe some would expect, but that's not the end of the world. Some guys just take longer. So I'm not really interested in trading him at this point. Yeah.
And I also kind of want to pose a question to you guys. So we were talking about how there is a new coaching staff, and that got me thinking, which former Blackhawk would you like to see on the Blackhawks coaching staff one day?
Ooh,
it's a good one.
The Calgary Flames recently hired Brent Seabrook, I think, in a dev role, and I was a little upset when I first saw it. I'm like, man, we have such a young
why didn't
decor.
The Hawks jump on that?
Why wouldn't the Hawks bring on a guy like Brent Seabrook to help coach up our young defensemen? I feel like that'd be perfect. I feel like he'd be perfect for a guy like Artie Lebshinov. Lebshinov has all the talent in the world, but needs to kind of put the pieces together, sort of similar to Korchinski. But I'd like to see, I think Seabrook would be great for, this young Blackhawks group. So if a spot opens up in the future, I don't know, how that's going to go up the Flames, but that's definitely a guy I'd be interested in for sure. Wow. I know that they have guys like Chris Kunitz, who are working in dev roles, for help the forwards. So somebody like that for the D would be pretty good. Yeah.
Well, what about the other guy, Duncan Keith?
Keith, yeah, I think he's getting into coaching too, just like Seabrook. So of his knowledge base, I think he'd be great as well. So I'd be open to that for sure.
Blackhawks Hall of Famer right there, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. Blackhawks Hall of Famer. Going to be an NHL Hall of Famer, Hockey Hall of Famer very 100%. Soon. I think in November he's getting inducted. So his number will be in the UC Rafters pretty soon. So I'd be absolutely down.
Yeah,
I know Patrick Sharp. He's working at the Flyers now, so but it's good to see a lot of those former Hawks working in roles like that, in the office, management, coaching, beyond the game. So. Taves is back in action now, but I always thought he'd be a good coach one day.
Yeah, Taves and Kane, the dynamic duo. Once Kane retires, I really hope he picks up coaching.
I think he'd be awesome at it.
I hope he comes to the Blackhawks if that is the case.
That would be sick. That's a pretty cool. It's a nice little hypothetical to think about, because I think an underrated aspect of Kane's game is his hockey IQ. I mean, he's definitely a hockey nerd when it comes to that stuff. He talked about when he was out with the hip injury in 23-24, he was just with his dad in Buffalo, just watching games all the time. He was also figuring out where to sign, but yeah, his hockey brain and just knowledge and IQ base has always been an underrated aspect of Kaner. So, and then just Taves for his leadership, I feel like he'd be a good coach. But I think those two, they still got plenty of game left in them. I don't think Taves would go through all that work just to come back for one season. I think he's going to play a few more years, and Kane too. He's not going to resurface his hip just to play a couple seasons. I think he's going to play for a while too. So that's a down the line thing, right? But I think both of them would be great coaches one day. Yeah. It's a fun idea.
I don't see Kane, necessarily dying to do that after he retires. But if he does end up coaching, I do think he'd be a good coach. It's just not where I see his desire leading him. I don't know.
I think he's more of like a management guy, like Stevie Y.
Yeah. Maybe more so of that, or maybe just like an ambassador role. I don't know.
An alumni guy.
Yeah, how involved he'll end up being, but I certainly think that if he does, he'd be great at it.
Yeah, you know what I was just thinking about though? It just kind of popped into my head, and I've been kind of like thinking about it. You know who else I think would make a great coach?
Who's that?
Brian Bickle.
Bickle. Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's a good pull.
I think so.
I like that. Bickle. Yeah, Bix.
I think he could. I mean, his role during the dynasty was just outstanding.
Oh no, for sure. Definitely one of those glue guys that every team needs, especially come the playoffs. So
I think he would be a really good coach, whether it be like assistant, head coach, like I think he could do it. I think he would be a really good coach.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of guys on those teams that could do it. Just there's a lot those teams just had such a large breadth of talent base and just knowledge of the game. So I think you can make an argument for a lot of those guys. But
yeah, maybe Crawford could be the next Jimmy Waite.
The question though is like, there's a lot of guys who could, but would they? Kind of like you said, right?
Exactly.
Not every player wants to be a coach after the career is done. But it's an interesting debate, an interesting argument. Yeah, again, Hawks got a transition back to the Blackhawks. Got a couple of preseason games on deck here. Both away games this weekend. We're playing the St. Louis Blues. So hopefully we'll be seeing a Blues lose post tomorrow, Saturday at St. Louis. And then they'll be playing at Minnesota on Sunday. Connor Bedard recently did an interview with Sherwood Hockey and said the Minnesota ice is amongst the best in the NHL. So I'm just a random poll there. I mean, it's not really shocking state of hockey that they have pretty good ice. Yeah. But so that'll be pretty fun to see the Hawks suit up on that sheet there in the XL Entry Center.
I'm sure, maybe in the post game he'll even be complimentary of the ice. Maybe if he scores, he'll credit it to that great Minnesota ice.
This goal he scored there at that rink last year was beautiful. It was like that Kucherov fake shot in December. He scored a similar goal like that in training camp where he was stick handling and faked a shot and then just kind of let it slide in. Fooled the goalie. So maybe have another goal like that. That'd be pretty nice. So be curious to see what combos lines they roll for the games this weekend, because I was surprised how much. Like, it was a younger lineup on Tuesday, but there's a lot of NHL players, right? So I imagine this will be a younger lineup, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be a lineup kind of similar to the like that they've been running in practice recently. So
I imagine one of the games is going to have that majority guaranteed NHL spots lineup with a few guys at the bottom, like Moore and Green, that are still battling for a spot. I think we'll see like a almost full NHL roster for one of these games.
For one of them, right? But it's a back-to-back, so I imagine they're not going to play the big guns like Bedard and Nazar for both of the games this weekend, especially because it's away too.
Yeah,
so.
We're definitely going to see like an AHL Rockford.
I bet you'll see some of the vets get into, because the vets haven't had a game yet. Yeah, like we haven't seen guys like Foligno, Dickinson, Tavo, Burkowski, guys like that. So I imagine we'll see some maybe an older group too. Maybe we'll split up like an older group and a younger group. Like, we're kind of speculating right now. We don't know exactly what the lineup's going to look like. And a couple little minor injuries too to get into in training camp here. I know Slaggert hasn't been practicing of late, so he's out for temporarily for now. Spellacy I think was out. I think he's returning soon though. Anderson's getting a procedure, Joey Anderson, so he's going to be out for the rest of the preseason. He was going to be in my Sogs anyway. That's about it. A couple minor injuries, nothing super major for the Blackhawks. There are some big NHL injuries that we will get to later in the show during the NHL hours.
Yeah.
Huge.
And one that's probably going to affect the Hawks too, because we're playing them opening night. But we'll get into that later. But just a little injury roundup there. Sorry.
No, you're good. We were just talking about goalies a little bit. So Spencer Knight, I actually really, really like this quote. I mean, I feel like it's something that a lot of NHL players and just athletes in general struggle with. It's that comparison aspect. So Knight said, when I was growing up, the big goalies were Carey Price, Bobrovsky, and Columbus. And I mean, it was just starting to pick up. He said, you look at their games and you try to pick things up. But when I turned pro, I started realizing I'm my own person. And I say this when I look at Connor Bedard or Frank Nazar. Everyone is comparing their stats to various players from 4 or 5 years ago and asking, are they going to be on the same track? I always think, let Connor be Connor, let Frank be Frank, and I'm just going to be me. Those guys don't have anyone else to be but themselves, and it's a refreshing mindset to have.
No, I like that a lot. I think that is something that would just fans in general of sports, not just hockey, love to do, right? It's never about the player himself. It's always like they always want to find somebody either in their draft class or on their team or somebody they played against growing up, and they want to always throw these comps out there, right? Like they've been doing a lot of Bedard and Celebrini, for instance, right? Or they'll compare him to somebody they looked up to like Bedard and Crosby. Kane Tay's got a lot too. So it sort of creates these sort of expectations that could be hard to especially when you're comparing to guys like McDavid. Like McDavid's his own guy. He's in his own stratosphere. Like you can't be comparing anybody to McDavid. He's just in his own world. So I like that. I think I agree with you. I think that's a nice mindset to have, and hopefully a mindset that they have. I think they do. Bedard, I think he's been quoted himself saying that. Like I'm just kind of worried about myself. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm trying to be my own player. So Spencer Knight's always got. He's a knowledgeable goalie, man. He's always got some nice things to say, nice quotes. He just seems to have just a firm understanding of the game and kind of where it's at. So always has good advice to give to the group for sure. Good leader, yeah. Especially for a goalie. Yeah,
he's the Greek philosopher of the team. I'm sure you've seen all those tweets about
He does look like a Greek philosopher.
He looks like an old Roman sculpture, doesn't he?
He is the Socrates of our generation.
Yeah, but I do like this. I mean, it's just taking all the pressure off the expectations and the comparison that gets thrown at these guys. Mm-hmm. And that's how you can really excel in this league is not focusing on that outside noise, but just being yourself and playing your game. And that's what's going to work for these guys. And if Bedard can play his game this year, I think we'll see a big jump, and this quote will be very relevant.
He's just seemed more relaxed now. I think. Did you guys see the Bedard Sherwood video they posted 2 days ago? It was a 20-minute interview, and it just seems a lot more relaxed now. I think his biggest offseason upgrade is not his speed or anything like that. I think it's his personality. Like he just seems like a different guy, man. He's cracking jokes. He seems relaxed. He seems pretty chill. He's even got some the Hawks posted some funny brain rot videos of him on TikTok, which is pretty good. So he just seems like a different guy. Yeah, which is good to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, he seems happy. Obviously, it's a much younger team and a much younger locker room environment.
That probably helps.
That probably helps him out a lot, being with more of his generation and playing with the speedy players like him. And I just think that's versus last year, at least. I feel like last year, he was kind of the baby in the room.
Yes.
And now he's like everyone's brothers almost, they're all kind of that same age, like these young guys. So there's a lot of bonding going on, and we saw it over the summer, with our classic off the ice prospect camp. But no, I think that helps a lot with gelling as a team and just hanging out with the boys. That's kind of what they did all prospect camp for this year and last year as well. No off ice or no on ice stuff, just all off ice, and it was very beneficial, is what the guy said. So
yeah, there's definitely more guys in the room who are kind of going through the same situation as him and a similar kind of career path and age, like you said. So that's got to help him too. Where he's not alone anymore, right?
Can we also talk about the amount of 6-7 jokes being made?
Oh my gosh,
it was
him and Frank are all over it.
Him and Frank, dude.
Frank is always doing this in some video. I swear.
Did you guys see the circle video on the Blackhawks TikTok yesterday? They were trying to make a perfect circle, and then Frank turned his perfect circle into a 6-7.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought I was bad with this.
He has brain rot so bad.
Yeah.
But you know who I think the real star of the Chicago Blackhawks TikTok is?
Oh boy. Where are you going with
Reichel.
this?
Yes. I mean, he's a yapper. Everybody wants to see more of him. Everybody's like, wait, where's Lucas Reichel? Give me more Reichel content. I mean, did you see the video of them getting the bread?
Oh, yeah. I did see that. That was good. That was good. Let's get this bread. Yeah.
He threw it out right away.
Betsy threw it out. It was so funny. Lucas was like, bread? And
he was so confused.
He was thinking about it for a second, and then he goes, no. He was
0%
really
interest.
thinking about it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And then the reaction game, that one too was really funny.
Oh, the dropping.
Yeah. I've played that before. My cousins actually have that game, and it's really fun.
Reichel had no reaction to it. What's going on in that head up there?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There is nothing behind those
Bro's
eyes.
just vibing.
Exactly. He's just there for the vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about Oliver Moore being a golden retriever, but I feel like he's kind of one too. a mix between a golden retriever and a black cat.
Yeah, more is like a talented version of Rigel. Yeah. Michael has talent. It's just not the toolbox. But yeah, that's funny stuff right there. All right, I believe it is time for a Snake Draft Friday, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Really excited for this. We got a good one on cue today. Last week we did NHLers over the age of 35. This week we're doing NHLers under the age of 25.
And we have a special guest.
Yes, we do. We have a big special guest on cue here. Me and Tassos, actually, we did a radio hit with this man last year, which is pretty fun. And we actually bumped into him at Fifth Third recently during Blackhawks training camp. We got Dalton Cooper here from WRMN 1410 here in Illinois. So really excited to have him on the show here and be joining us as a guest for this snake draft. Welcome, Dalton. How you doing? For sure. No, every Friday is a great Friday, right? So, no, we're very excited to have you here and joining us for this snake draft. Charlie, do we have a draft order?
I do have the draft order set from randomizer.org, of course.
Randomizer.
Randomizer.org, that's right. So the first pick in the snake draft is to Natalie, 2 is to Dalton, 3 is to Justin, 4 is to myself, and the 5th pick is to Nolan.
Oh, boy. All right. Boy, what has she got cooking there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. All right, with my first pick in the NHL under 25 snake draft, I'm picking Connor Bedard. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Man,
Yeah,
I can't
I know.
blame you.
Good
I would have
pick.
done the same thing.
Sorry.
Good pick.
Sorry, you guys.
I'll be preying on your downfall now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah, I don't think you need to justify that pick at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think you need to explain yourself there for that one.
Dude, the anxiety when you were reading the list, I'm like, please be me, please be me, please be me, please be me. And then I'm like, yeah,
You already knew your pick. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm jealous, man. Well,
Sorry,
good for
guys.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Swinging to number 2 for Dalton.
Yeah, this one seems pretty straightforward. I'm debating between 2 guys, but I think I'm gonna go Macklin Celebrini here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that one's pretty straightforward. So yeah, it's hard to pick. It's crazy that he's 19 years old. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah,
That's
right?
why I'm glad you took him, so I didn't have to take him. So I appreciate you for that. That is a good pick, though. All right, that leaves me at 3, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm actually shocked this guy hasn't been taken yet because he is still under the age of 25. Give me Jack Hughes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take Jack Hughes, number 3. Yeah, I don't really know if I think he's better than both of them right now. I think probably will be. I think Bedard and Celebrini will be better than Hughes in their primes. But right now, I'm taking Jack Hughes. So that's
right.
my pick.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the key with him, right? Yeah, that's been a.
He could
that's
be
been
a Ross.
That's been a
He
tough
could be a
one.
Ross candidate.
Yeah.
I think he averages 58 games played so far.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he's always hurt, but no, all the talent's there. Like he definitely is, Patrick Kane-esque in that standpoint in his
Yeah,
game. A lot of
definitely.
comps there. So I'm hopefully could put together a full 82 and get back to 100-point pace. He probably should be at.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Hopefully that was a lot.
All right. I'm at number 4. I'm going to go ahead and take the first defenseman off the board. I'm going Rasmus Dahlin.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
see
that's a
that.
good one.
Good one.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
a
number
good pick.
4, Dahlin, Norris guy, top pair D. You need one of those if you're going to have a shot here. So hopefully my team is, trusting him enough on the back end. So Nolan with the 5th pick here.
Oh, so I got back to back here.
Yeah,
Can we take players that are 25 right now?
Under
25.
Under 25.
I checked today's birthdays. No one got
Okay.
eliminated
All right.
since
So
yesterday.
that rules out my first pick. I came in here with a number 1 overall pick, and it wasn't taken. Well, I can't take it now. So just 1 second here.
Is it Marchenko?
No, it was not Kirill Marchenko. Don't worry.
I have an idea of who it is.
Do you want to say who you thought it was?
I think you're going to take Caulfield.
No, I'm not taking. No.
Okay.
No, not this pick. We're talking. We talked about it
Giving
last
away
week.
picks
There's
here.
so many goaltenders. There's only so many goaltenders.
Oh, no.
You're gonna give me Dustin Wolf as
Okay.
my first round pick.
Okay.
Should have won the Calder last year. Let's just call a spade a spade. He should have won the Calder last year.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he was
100%.
better than Hudson.
Yeah, I'm glad he finished ahead of Celebrini in the voting there, but Hudson I think was deserving. I'm not gonna. I think
Yeah, there was a case, obviously.
he put up totals by
Had a
rookie
future
defenseman we
on
haven't
him.
seen in forever. Yeah. All right. Who's going next?
And then
I had Dustin Wolf
I'm
20 to
back
1
on the
to win it,
wraparound.
too.
So I'll take my first center of the draft. I'll take Wyatt Johnston.
Nice.
Oh.
Ooh, nice pick.
Yeah, no one's got some
So you got Dustin Wolf and Wyatt Johnston, huh?
Yep.
All right.
interesting picks there. Yeah.
Swinging back to me, I think I have to go. Yeah, I'm going to go Tim Stutzel here.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Good
Damn
pick.
it.
Good pick.
Ooh.
Ah.
That's kind of, he's still only 23 years old. That's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, it seems like he's been around for like 7 years.
Yeah, that's wild. Another guy where he's when he's playing nice is great, but he needs to stop with the dive in there. It
Yeah.
feels like I feel like he's trying out for the German swim team a little too much. But
Oh, no.
but when he's on his game, no, he's as good as I would say he's as good as Jack Hughes when he's on his game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Ooh,
that leaves
that's
me
a-
up
that's
next,
a
right?
take.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll take this guy. Just a pure goal scorer, still just barely, under the age of 25. It'll be, be 25.
I know who this is.
Next January. I thought it was going to be who Nolan was going to take, but he didn't take him. So
You bastard.
give me Goal Caulfield.
Dude, I wore the shirt for a reason. He was going to be my wraparound. Are you serious?
Damn.
All right, do you
lose.
Do you want to wear the t-shirt? I could take off the t-shirt right now and you could wear it.
You snooze, you lose, buddy.
You bastard, man.
Damn.
Yeah, why'd you not take Caulfield on that wraparound?
I
Why'd you go
assumed you
Johnston?
were.
I
That's
think
a
Wyatt
tough call.
Johnston's the better overall
He
player.
is.
Alright.
Yeah, so
But I thought you really wanted
he's younger.
Caulfield. That's
yeah,
why.
of course I really wanted Caulfield, but I knew that Johnston was going to be taken, and I had to get the best goalie off the board. So,
All right, fair enough.
Wolf was a good pick. I like that.
so now you have the NTDP connection, Justin, and I'm kind of pissed about it. But let's call a spade a spade.
All right, back to Dalton with his second pick.
Yeah, I cannot believe this guy is still here, but give me Matvey Michkov. Give me Michkov.
Wow.
He has a possibility. He could score 40 or 50 goals. We saw what he did in the KHL overseas. Just an absolute stud. I'm really surprised nobody took him sooner, and I believe he's still a teenager at 19 too. So
That's
Very
correct.
good pick.
Tortorella's out of the building, and he's due for a big season, I think.
Man, so you got Celebrini and Michkov there. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
duo.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick.
All
All right.
right, my turn. With my second pick, I am going to go Matt Boldy from the Minnesota Wild.
Ooh, great pick.
He
Great pick.
led the Wild in goals. He had 27, assists 46, and 73 points last season. So, yeah, I mean, I thought that was a pretty obvious pick. And for my wraparound, I am going to go from the Carolina Hurricanes, Seth Jarvis.
Good pick.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
sneaky one.
I
That's a
love
sneaky
Seth
one.
Jarvis. I was thinking
Yeah.
about him in round 3. Very good pick, Nat.
Second straight 30-goal season with a Hurricanes best 32 after he scored 33 in 2023-24.
And your personality, your team just went up 20 times.
The aura.
Yeah, Seth Jarvis is
Insane
one of the
aura.
best personalities in the NHL. That's awesome.
Yeah, big NASCAR guy.
The aura.
Max, we're stopping.
All right, Dalton.
F1.
Great
Up to you.
I know.
No, this
so-
guy was joking. All
Let's
right.
see here. I think I'm gonna stay international with this pick. I really do. My KHL homer hat is staying on. I'm gonna go Ivan Demidov. I
Wow.
think, yeah, another 19-year-old. I think we all expect big things out of Montreal this season. Just by the way, a side thought here: is there anybody that's had a worse fantasy offseason than Mike Matheson? 'Cause last year, Lane Hudson
Yeah, it's
showed
not
up.
really
Now
needed
going
anymore.
opposite.
I mean, he's kind of had
Yeah.
his role taken there.
He's
so.
got to be shipped
Yeah.
off at some point, right?
Yeah,
Fantasy-
third pair, not even
fantasy
special
point,
teams anymore.
it's tough. But I mean, he's gonna be a great second pair defenseman. But from a fantasy standpoint, he became the most irrelevant human being on the planet, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna go Demidov here.
Very
All
good
right.
pick.
Well, stick at the Montreal theme. I'm kind of surprised this guy's been taking it. I'll take the actual Calder winner. Give me Lane Hudson back there on the defense. We got the Hudson Caulfield connection.
You're
on
taking all
team.
my morale guys, aren't you? You're taking all my morale guys, and I'm pissed.
Take that. No, I mean, I don't really know if I've explained this one too much, but no, Hudson, I'm surprised, again, he probably should at least been at the USA orientation camp. There was some drama there, but no, definitely will be a Norris wing defenseman in his prime, I think, or at least in the conversation, I would think. So we should see if he can be as good as Quinn Hughes one day. I mean, that's going to be that's a tough bar to reach, but I think he has potential, for sure. All right.
No.
Charlie up next.
I like that pick a lot.
Yeah.
I am going to go With my third player, I'm taking Lucas Raymond.
Oh,
the
very
Detroit
nice.
Red
How
Wings.
is he not taken yet?
So,
power
yeah,
play
adding
merchant.
Stutzel and Raymond on that top line, I think, that's just going to be gross.
Wow.
And we might even, draw some tripping penalties.
Yeah, Raymond
But
sort of. He likes that too.
Those boys on the power play together with Darlene manning it, I just think, that's very elite right there.
There you go. All right. All right. So I've already got my goaltender. I've got my number one center. I'm gonna keep going with the Detroit theme here. Give me Mo Sider.
I wanted them
That is
together.
a
sneaky
I
pick.
hate you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
great
Justin
pick.
took my Habs connection. I'm taking your Red Wings connection from you. So
them all
Mo
up.
Sider, Calder winner. I think he's one of the best young right-handed defensemen in the game right now. Shout out Sider on Twitter. My absolute dog. All right, so it's back to me on the wraparound. Ooh. All right. Strutzel's taken. Jack Hughes is taken.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna do.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Oh, do you know? I don't think you do.
Today, Junior.
Clock is
All right, you know what? I'll take him. I'll take the American in the Canadian market. You're gonna give me Matty Nyes.
Oh, okay. Oh, you love Matty Nyes.
Matty
You're a
Nyes.
big Nyes guy. I
Dude,
like.
Nyes in the playoffs last year, he was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, I like how all of our teams sort of have an identity building there too. Nyes fits in nicely with your team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right.
We're gonna play rough and tough, and you're not gonna be able to score against us with Dustin Wolf.
To be fair, if Marner
fair,
gone, I mean, Nyes is going to get a lot of reps on the top line there. If Matthews, I would think his numbers could explode this year. Yeah, that could be a good value pick right there. Yeah, all right, I see the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Good pick. Good pick.
All right, I think that's Charlie up next.
That is me up next. I'm going to solidify my decor here. Give me Thomas Harley from the Dallas Stars.
That's
One of my favorite players.
Darlene and Harley. I mean,
Ooh, that's a good pair.
Good luck.
Harley
Good
Thomas?
luck, other teams' offense.
You mean Harley Thomas, right?
No, Thomas Harley.
You don't know the draft day story.
I do not. Did they announce his name wrong?
They announced his name as Harley Thomas
Oh
when
my
they
God.
when they picked him in the first round. It was hilarious.
That's
Wow.
unreal.
Nice.
Classic.
One of the
Hey,
fantasy
he's-
teams I have is the Harley Riders. I don't know if you guys have seen South Park.
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, she loves South Park.
Matt's a big
Yes.
Natalie
South Park
loves
girl.
South Park.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it worked out for him.
Boo.
Don't need your name pronounced correctly on
Boo,
draft day.
Wendy. Boo, Wendy Testaburger. Boo.
Yeah, boo, Wendy. Yes.
All right, Justin with his Habs propaganda is up next.
Yes. All right. I think we probably got to take another goaltender here, right? We're gonna do some home cooking here, actually. You know what? Give me Spencer Knight in net. Yep. I just had to look up and make sure he's still under 25. He is still under 25.
that's right.
So
Very nice.
yes,
the Dark Knight.
I will take him in net. Hasn't had a full season as starter yet. A lot to prove this year with the big ticket contract extension, and I think he's gonna have a big season. So yeah, give me Spencer Knight. I think Wolf is the best, I would say, of this young goaltending group right now. But I think Knight could give him a run for his money one day. So hopefully, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, is it my turn?
No, it's Dalton's turn.
Dang it, I forgot.
That's okay. I think
Sorry,
I've got. I can't believe this guy's still out there. You were talking about big extensions. Give me Jake Sanderson.
Wow.
57 points. Really had a coming out party last year. I believe he's set up for another big season. I think Ottawa is one top 6 forward away, I think, from being a Stanley Cup contender. If you got somebody like Eichel, I think they're going to be real big in UFA next year. If they can get one of the big time UFAs, I think Ottawa could be somebody that can really be reckoned with. So yeah, give me Sanderson.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Okay.
Impressed
yeah.
the Four Nations.
I
Yeah.
dislike you so bad right now.
That just shows how good the pick is. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
no.
right, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm also going to start my decor here. Give me Brock Faber.
Faber.
I'm gonna take him.
Calder winner, Brock Faber.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no.
That's the Calder runner-up to you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Yeah, runner-up. No thanks.
Wild Twitter was wild. That
I see
Yeah,
what
they
you
were
did
something
there.
that year. They were living in Delulu land.
I mean, I got scared a little bit because Bedsy got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we were actually worried. We thought he wasn't gonna, because we didn't know how long the injury was gonna be. We thought it could lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Sorry, Brock. Not really. I am going to pick for my wraparound, I am going to take from the Buffalo Sabres, Owen Power.
Okay. I like it.
Back-to-back defense. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I already have my 3 forwards, so
You're saving the goaltending for last.
yeah,
there.
I am.
Yeah.
Last line of defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he got injured, but I mean, he got 40 points, 7 goals and 33 assists in 79 games. So, I feel like since Dalton so rudely took Sanderson, I'm gonna solidify with Owen Power.
I like how you're doing your team in order here. You take 3 forwards, 2D, and then a goalie.
Yeah.
So you took the 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 goalie rule very seriously there.
I did.
Not a lot of goalies on the market though.
No, there aren't.
Not a
There
lot.
aren't.
That's one. Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah, that was my next question too. Are we building a 5 to play with? Or are we just building the top 5 players that we think?
No, we're building 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 goaltender.
Okay. So I guess it's my turn then. I need to pick a defenseman and or a goalie then. Man, I really wanted Thomas Harley here, but I'll go here. How about Brant Clark? Give me Brant Clark at this
Nice.
point.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish he was Calder eligible last year. I would have definitely sprinkled some money on him. I think he's just a great skater overall. Doughty being down 2 would have been, a nice big boost to his playing time. The Kings have kind of reshuffled everything, so I expect a big year out of him this year. So we'll go Brant Clark in the spot.
Very nice. Very nice. That leaves me with a very nice option here for my next pick.
You homer.
Why not get some home cooking going here? Give me Frank the Tank.
You homer.
Give me Frank Nazar. This is a good pick. Are you kidding me?
No, it's a great pick.
I'm just
This is a
messing
great
around with
pick.
you.
Now he's going to cook with Nazar, Caulfield, Hughes. I guess I technically took 3 centers, but we'll work that out. No, Caulfield's wing. Yeah, Caulfield's a winger. But Nazar, Hughes, I'd say Nazar moves the wing. And then you got, Nazar, Caulfield wings with Hughes center. I like that. I like that trio up front. I just realized all 5 of my picks have been Americans so far. I'm building Team USA
What
here,
the fuck
baby.
is a kilometer?
Let's go. What's a Canada? I don't know.
Canada.
USA Hockey's taking over, baby. I love it.
I'm not your friend, guy.
We will be here for the Frank Nazar breakout season.
I'm not your guy,
Absolutely.
pal.
I'm not your.
Yeah, I am surprised you didn't draft like Leo Carlson there. I am surprised.
Well, is that what you're going to do?
No.
As we get back to Charlie, I do want to make one
I can't
note.
take a forward
Unknown
here.
boy in the chat has said Dahlin is 25.
Stop it.
Uh-oh.
Rasmus Dahlin is 25,
Stop
so
it.
your pick is
Uh-oh.
invalidated. So I'll give you 2 here. I'll give you 2 here.
Canceled.
Stop it.
He is 25.
Oh
thought
no.
something
April
was
13,
wrong there.
2000. That is 25.
That's
Yeah.
unreal.
2018
All right, well,
draft pick.
So what do we
Denied.
do? What do we do here?
So we'll give you 2 picks here.
Is that like kosher? Is that cool?
Yeah, let's go. Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
perfect.
I was gonna take Lucas Dostal here anyway as a goalie. I need a goalie, and he is a goalie under 25. There's not a whole lot of high-end
he is
goalies there
25.
under 25, but I
is
like
25.
Lucas Dostal.
All right. What are you going to do if your number?
All right, and now you gotta
And now I need a
redo
second defenseman for my team.
Yep.
Here.
Dostal is 25, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh, where'd you learn to do math?
I know. All right,
Under
all right.
25,
Give
guys.
give me Sebastian Kosa instead.
Kosa. Okay.
Kosa as a goalie. And
Grand Rapids Griffins legend.
defense, give me Luke Hughes.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a solid. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, solid pick. Yeah, decent recovery there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. That's
Hughes for Dahlin.
brutal.
All right, so I need a forward and I need a defenseman here. I know who my defenseman's going to be right off the bat. Justin's talking about home cooking. I'll stick with the home cooking. Give me Alex Vlasic.
Is he under 25?
He is.
Yeah, just about.
23,
Just
I believe.
about.
She's 24. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good one.
Yep,
Come on
24.
now. And then I need a forward.
I mentioned a guy earlier that he didn't want to take.
I don't think I'm going to take him.
Oh, interesting.
Even though I do believe that Leo Carlson is a very good player, I'm going to take the guy that they should have taken instead of Leo Carlson. Give me Adam Fantilli.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind
Great
of
pick.
surprising he's fallen this much. Yeah. How is he? How is nobody taking offense?
I was
31
I was
goal scorer
thinking of
last
it.
year. I mean, you don't think I'm going to take a 30 goal scorer?
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, back to Charlie. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate his pick again.
Yeah, make sure let's get this right, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Charlie, you do need a forward here.
Leo Carlson.
There you go.
We brought up his name so much, I have to take him at this point, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
Oh my
for
gosh.
leaving this man
the
open.
homerism continues. Okay.
We are going to round out our picks here with another defenseman, which right now is his pick early, maybe, but I think this pick is going to look absolutely fantastic by the end of the season. Give me Sam Renzel on the defense. Let's go, baby.
I will say, if I didn't have Sider as a right-handed defenseman, I would have taken Renzel there.
Hell yeah, baby.
I love it.
Let's go. The Renzel and Hudson, that's a nasty D pair.
Yeah.
Absolute nastiness. All right. Look, I filled out my Team USA, too. Everybody on my team is an American, so.
What the fuck is a
sir,
kilometer?
baby. Yes.
Rah.
Nice.
USA.
All right, Nat, you need a goaltender here.
All right.
Or no, it's
Dalton.
Dalton. I
No,
apologize,
no,
Dalton. You need
We're
your
just
goaltender here.
skipping over
Yeah.
him.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I
You
wrote
get
down the
to
numbers. I didn't write
steal.
down the people, so that's on me.
You get to steal her
That's
goaltender
okay.
here.
I swear to God, if you steal my
I hope-
goaltender.
I don't know if I'm going to or not, but I'm going to take the guy that kind of surprised at the end of last season. I think he's due for big. I'm going to go Jet Greaves. I think Jet Greaves is a good pick here.
Oh, I
think
really
he's due
don't
for a
like
big
you.
year.
Actually, like, no. I was joking the last time I said I hate you so bad, but I think this time it's
Yeah.
like starting to set in. Like,
Yeah.
damn it!
Nat, there's a pretty good under 25 goalie still available who hasn't been taken.
Yeah, I was
doubt
kind of
it.
picking and choosing between two guys. And
I
think
can
I'm
give
going to
you
go
a
with
hint.
Jet
I
Greaves.
mean, he plays for a team we don't like as Hawks fans.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my second one. All right, I guess for my goalie, I'm taking Trey Augustine.
That wasn't the one. Okay,
No,
sure.
wait. Can we take Augustine? I mean, he hasn't played in the NHL. Everyone's played in the NHL here.
Damn it.
Isn't that one of our parameters?
Damn
Yeah,
it.
NHLers under 25.
Whatever, you guys. Ugh, you guys are this is
Nah,
brutal.
I've got
That
one.
wasn't the goalie I was thinking.
No,
I
there-
got one.
There's two goaltenders from teams we don't like.
California.
You guys are absolutely
Yeah, California.
California.
you guys are absolutely brutal.
Similar age to Spencer Knight in California.
Right-handed goaltender.
Russian. His name ends with
He
an
got
O.
drafted.
No.
He got drafted by a different team, if that
All
helps you
right.
too.
Yeah.
Hold on, you guys. Let me just think here.
Is there another one you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Let me look at the list here.
You got, in my eyes, you got two goaltenders here.
There's one I'm thinking of in particular. I don't know which one you're thinking of.
Let me look at the
Well,
list.
you and I are both thinking of one, Justin. There's another one in the Central Division that I'm thinking about.
Central Division. Who are you thinking of?
I
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him here.
I can't believe a Noonan is 25 years old. That's crazy.
Let's see. Damn it, I don't think he's a NHL. Guys, chill. Charlie, shush.
Check your messages.
Can we get that sound on the board, please?
No, you guys.
Oh, that will be in progress for Monday. Don't you worry.
All right, you know what? Screw this. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Hold on. Again, let me check. I'm scared, you guys.
Today, Junior.
Shush, you guys. All right. I have so many tabs open. All right, give me Devin Levi from Buffalo.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
I was gonna
That's
say
not where I thought you were
Yaroslav
gonna go.
Askarov. I was
also gonna say Jesper
I was gonna
Wallstedt.
suggest
Yeah,
Askarov.
Wallstedt was
But
what I was
That's
thinking.
fair enough. All right.
Just give me that.
All right, should we run through the teams then?
Yes.
All right, let's run through the teams. All right, Nats team, you have Matt Boldy, Seth Jarvis, Connor Bedard as your forwards, Brock Faber and Owen Powers your defensemen, Devin Levi in net. Dalton Cooper, you have Macklin Celebrini, Matvey Michkov, Ivan Demidov as your forwards, Jake Sanderson and Brant Clark as your defensemen, and Jet Greaves as your goaltender.
Whatever.
For Justin, the American, we have Hughes, Caulfield, and Nazar, Lane Hudson, Sam Renzel, and Spencer Knight in net. Charlie, after a couple more attempts, we have Tim Stutzel, Lucas Raymond, Leo Carlson with Thomas Harley Thomas, Luke Hughes, and Sebastian Cosa. And for your beautiful producer, we have Wyatt Johnston, Matty Nyes, Adam Fantilli as the forwards, Sider and Vlasic on defense, and in net, Dustin Wolf.
I think I win. I think I win this.
I think based on patriotism, you do win.
I was about to say average
patriotism.
kilometer hater.
Although Celebrini, Michkov, Demidov is
Dalton got pretty
Dalton
good
Cook.
team.
Dalton Cook. I'll say
Unfair.
that.
If we're just looking at the
whatever.
team itself, probably Dalton. But in terms of aura, I think I win.
I don't know.
And that's got Bedard, so there's that.
Yeah, whatever. I automatically win with the Bedard card.
Yeah, I think you set the tone with that pick.
I have
for
Mr.
sure.
Game 7, so if we're going to a Game 7 on the playoffs, Wyatt Johnston's Mr. Game 7. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's true.
Yeah, no, that's a fair
hard to
one as
argue.
well. Yeah.
Matty Knies also looked good in the playoffs last year. I mean, yeah, I feel like I put up a pretty good performance. Not as good as last week, but I put up a pretty good performance.
Yeah, it's a fair performance. It's a solid one.
Isn't Justin Williams Mr. Game 7?
It is now Wyatt
Say,
Johnston.
I was gonna say.
No,
what about-
you look at Wyatt Johnston. He's been scoring in Game 7s now
Yeah.
too. He's taken the title from
He's the new gen. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Martinez with a shot. Nah, I don't know.
No, don't you dare!
no.
Don't you dare!
No Nick Leddy flashbacks.
No. All right, Dalton. We want to thank you so much
Yes.
for coming on to the snake draft. Your team, you did very well for yourself.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, good job. Man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Solid
Thanks,
team.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime you guys want to have me, I'm more than happy to join. Of
course.
I'm telling you, between the benches and like Chicago Hockey Radio and everybody, we got to get like a little fantasy draft going on. But
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about
Like-
the idea of a fantasy hockey league going here. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll run something.
Creator
We'll run
League,
something.
if you will. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we could definitely work that out. I'll get the belt. We can all battle for a belt.
Yeah,
to,
absolutely.
Podcast supremacy. So, but thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Of
Yeah,
course.
thank
You
you,
have a
Dalton.
great
Thank you
rest
so
of your
much.
day,
Yeah,
and
thank you for
we'll
joining
definitely
us.
have you back on for sure.
And we'll
Have a
definitely
great
see you
day.
at Fifth Third soon, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you so
I'll
much,
see you guys.
Dalton.
Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right, that was a fun snake draft. That was enjoyable.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it was
Definitely weren't any controversies
a
there
lot
whatsoever.
more options going around than the 35 plus draft. I feel.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
a lot more
no,
players.
there was like 200 skaters or something like that. The
Yeah.
goaltenders weren't, there, but
That was rough.
Yeah, but I feel like it was a lot more fun, like building a team out of those young
This was
guys.
more
'Cause
enjoyable.
we're looking
Absolutely.
at potential more so than the 35 plus what these guys are currently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a more fun snake draft in my eyes.
Yeah,
I would agree.
A lot more options on the table there, which I think made it more. I agree, more competitive as well, right?
Yeah,
Because there's more
definitely.
more debate that can be had for sure.
Like-
so, friendly reminder: it is Frundell Friday. I don't know if you all saw the apple he had the other day for Deer Gardens. Pretty nice.
beautiful
assist there.
behind the net.
Yeah, very nice assist there for sure. So good to see him get on the board. I think he has 2 assists through 5 games so far for Frundell. So okay start. The top league there in Sweden. Had to get our Frundell prospect talk in on Frundell Friday. So.
And if we're talking more about prospect talk, I got to bring him up, right?
Roman.
well, yeah.
7 points in his last 6 games. How about that?
Is that
Whoa.
right?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Katzrow definitely did that on purpose, man.
Oh,
He's a man
absolutely.
of culture, a man
Oh,
of taste.
Yeah, he had a sweet, little pass in front of the net in overtime. I mean, it was honestly Richards to Kane-esque if you look at it.
He looks too good for that league right now, man.
And he's just too good right now.
Yeah, I wish he was over here right now, but what are you going to do? We'll look forward to seeing him in the year.
I have a feeling we'll see him sooner rather than later.
I hope so, man. That'd be nice if we could get out of that contract, and we'll get him soon. All right, I think that's going to do it for the Blackhawks Hour. On the other side for the NHL Hour, we will be bringing on Harrison, who's a Tampa Bay Lightning writer for the Hockey Writer. Looking forward to having him on. All right, CHR enjoyers, see you on the other side for NHL Hour. Let's go. Welcome back, CHR enjoyers, for the NHL Hour of our CHR Friday show, baby. We are back for NHL Hour. A lot to get into today, a lot of news to get into later. But before that, we got a guest on today. Here we go. We got Harrison from The Hockey Writer, who writes about the Tampa Bay Lightning, join the show today. Harrison, how are you doing?
You know, I really can't complain. It's almost the weekend. Hockey's back, and I couldn't be more excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. Just
think
waiting
we're all
for
amped for hockey to be
waiting for
back.
the season to get rolling here. I kind of wanted to kick things off for this interview. Just your thoughts on the big divisional news out of Florida. The Barkov injury. What have you been hearing about that? How do you foresee that affecting the Panthers this year? Just big news coming out of Florida. So yeah, what's your take on the injury situation down there?
Yeah, obviously it's one of the most important key pieces on the Panthers team that's just coming off of back-to-back Stanley Cups and 3 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. I mean, it's a major loss. There's no way to sugarcoat it other than that. But it's one of those teams that even if they don't necessarily have Barkov, you still expect them with all the other stars they have, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, etc., and the depth that they have to at least still be, a key player in the Atlantic Division and the Eastern Conference. How will it affect them over time is what's yet to be seen. Because at the beginning of the season, it's one player is missing. Once you get the playoff time, you don't know who's going to be battered and bruised, and that's just even at the start of the playoffs. And once you get further and further along, that's when I think we'll start to really see the full impact of not having Sasha's presence on the ice.
Comparing yourselves, because the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers, both won, back-to-back cups in the 2020s and have kind of dominated the scene when it comes to Stanley Cup final action in the 2020s. Going into this season, who would you give the edge? Yeah.
Look, even as someone who writes for the Lightning and would love to say the Lightning have the edge in the end, the Panthers are the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The same would have been said heading into the 2022 season after that. You just got to give the credit where it's due. And for the Lightning, really, just until they can find a way to get past the first round again, you got to give the edge to the team that's been there the most recently.
What do you attribute to that? Because the Lightning made it to 3 straight Cup finals, which the Panthers have done the last 3 years, and now have followed up with 3 straight first round playoff exits. So what do you attribute to these earlier exits? Yeah.
So it's like a mix of things. One, the team that won the Stanley Cups in 2020, 2021, each year you saw pieces of it being removed one by one. And by the time you get to 2023, a lot of that bottom 6 depth just isn't there anymore. And, you had the frozen cap at the time. It's something that the Panthers don't necessarily have as much of an issue with now because the cap's going up to, I believe it's 93.5 million going into this year.
Yeah.
It'll be into the hundreds the year after that, where the Lightning were at, say, 82 million. I'm blanking on the exact number. It went up maybe 1 million during that time. And I'm not saying, the Lightning stopped being good because the cap didn't go up and the Panthers get to keep being good because the cap continues to go up. I don't want it to sound like that's the whole thing I'm implying there at all. But, it's harder to keep certain players together. You had to give up Tyler Johnson very quickly. Barclay Goodrow, Blake Coleman, none of them were there for that 3rd straight Stanley Cup final appearance in 2022. And after that, just more pieces, even after the Toronto series where they lose 3 home games in overtime and they lose in 6, suddenly Ross Colton's gone, Pat Maroon is gone. It's a very, very different team than just a few years ago. And it's crazy to think that just because it's really not that long ago. We're only halfway into this decade, and the team's gone from this top to bottom force to a lot of the productions coming from the top and then hoping that Vasilevsky can make the save, assuming he's healthy.
That's so. You just teed up the next question really well. What's going on with Vasi right now? I know he's been missing, Tampa training camp, missing practices. You think he's going to be ready to go for the season, or are you concerned over there? Yeah.
So the latest update has me less concerned. They are assuring that he's going to be ready for opening day.
Okay.
And really, as much as I would say I was concerned, it's more of a tread with caution, see how long he's going to actually be out. Because while I fully understand there was some immediate panic, especially among the fan base. This is a guy that 2 years ago hurt his back, missed the first 20 games of the season, and then didn't look like himself until the following year. If he has an issue, then you might as well start looking to what year is it? Oh, yeah, the 2026-2027 season.
Mhm.
But I figured, look, the Lightning might just be rightfully overreacting in a way, holding him out of practice, just making sure better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And then, see how things are later. And I believe they said he should be back next week to practice, if that's what I recall correctly. But the goal is they are saying he will be there for opening nights. I fully trust for now that that's the case. And we'll just see how the rest of it plays out.
Yeah, it always seems to be a topic of concern with goalies these days, is health, especially a guy like that. They rely on so much. You don't want to overwork him, especially for, not want to call meaningless, but for him, meaningless preseason games. So that makes sense. What do you think of this current, Tampa team? Expectations going into the season, should be a playoff team, but do you think there's still a cup winner left in them there? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a cup winner still left in them, but I think a lot of it comes down to how does the depth shape up this year? Because can we fully expect them to make the playoffs? Absolutely. I think it'll either be they finish in third place or one of the wild cards. I don't think they're going to finish at the top of the Atlantic or even have home ice with with second place. But they're definitely a playoff team. They brought in some guys, Pelletier, Holmberg. You have some upcoming prospects like Dylan Duke, Ethan Gauthier, Sam O'Reilly's the big piece that came in through the Isaac Howard trade. He's already been reassigned, but you never know when he could show up later. It all just comes down to who shows up in the bottom six, who's able to fill in for Nick Paul while he is out. So if they're able to get that sorted out, then there will be some faith in their ability to maybe get another run in them. But if it turns out it's still relying on the top three guys in Gensel, Kucherov, and Point, then they might just be heading home early again.
Yes, so we'd be remiss as Blackhawks fans here if we didn't ask you about Brandon Hagel. He was a good player for us, solid middle six guy, but he's just turned into this absolute beast with Tampa. Just speak about his impact on the team there and just how important he is to that squad. Yeah.
Oh, he is very important. And I know in Chicago, I remember when he first arrived, a lot of people were thinking it was a big overpay. You send 2 first-round picks, and I believe it was Taylor Radish and Boris Tkachuk, who coincidentally is now back with the Lightning.
Yeah, neither worked out.
Yeah, but it's like he was a 20-goal scorer before he even arrived in Tampa Bay. And I know that wasn't his full purpose when he first got into town. He primarily played defense on that run to the conference final. It's not the conference, on the Stanley Cup final in 2022. And he's just continued to evolve, and he's become a very solid two-way player. He was top 10 in Selke votes last season. I think he has a very good shot to hit 40 goals and 100 points this season.
Which I would have thought at the time too, because you spoke about that. I remember seeing the trade return. I'm like, man, I like Brandon Hagel, but it's we got 2 first-round picks and 2 solid at the time, sort of prospects. Radish had a 20-goal season for us, then kind of dropped off. Tkachuk never really became anything, but it could still work out. Oliver Moore and Sasha are very good prospects, but man, Brandon Hagel, I would have never thought he had a 90-point season.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Did not see that resurgence coming out of him.
No, you gotta give him credit.
Maybe that is a setting thing. I mean, the players he's playing with down in Tampa are obviously very skilled guys, so I'm sure that has enough to do with it, but he's on his own as a fantastic player as well. But great players play good with good players, I'd say.
No, for sure, absolutely. Speaking of some of those great players, Nikita Kucherov definitely runs the table in Tampa. I believe he actually has recorded the most points in NHL over the last few seasons, which many would assume that was Connor McDavid. But Kucherov just quietly every year is just right up there, especially with Nathan McKinnon the last 2 years. Where would you personally rank Kucherov among the league's best?
I think at minimum you got to put him in the top 3.
Yeah.
I know he has not shown up in the playoffs the same way he has previously, but in the end, 2 years ago, he was the 5th player to have 100 assists in a season. Could have been the 4th, but McDavid just beat him out by a few days, if I remember correctly. Won the Ted Lindsay Award last year for his efforts. Very consistent player. Usually on the score sheet for 50% of the goals the Lightning scored. That's been the case for about 2 years now, which is ridiculous. If they're going to be able to find a way to back him up in the playoffs so he can start to go back out there and do it again in April, May, and June, that'd be great. But even if just looking at the regular season, the fact that he's continuously a Hart Trophy finalist, Ted Lindsay Award winner just shows I don't know how you could put him outside the top three.
I think a producer Nolan's got a question.
Yes, producer Nolan does have a question. So you not only write for the Lightning, but you also write for the Braves too, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. So the Braves had their big outdoor game in the NASCAR stadium this year against the Reds. And if you look towards 2026, the Lightning are going to be playing in Raymond James Stadium, the home of the Buccaneers. What's the excitement level down there to get an outdoor game down in Tampa?
Oh, it's absolutely exciting. Like Lightning fans, I can't stress this enough, have been wanting this for a very long time. I remember in like maybe 2021 or 2022, there was like a fake rumor that popped up that like the Lightning would play the Panthers in like the upcoming year or so, and it absolutely blew up on what was then called Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
still call it Twitter.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I actually wrote a story. One of my first ones with the hockey writers was about looking back when they played at the Thunderdome and just the idea of like, what if they had played again at Tropicana Field? I mean, playing at Raymond James is still going to be really cool. I plan to be there fully in person. We'll be able to give my full thoughts. Very exciting. The only thing, and it's funny you mentioned the Speedway series, because I've been thinking of both of those back and forth, especially with how the Speedway Classic turned out with the rain, the delay, the running out of the food. It's like, I really, and knowing how the Tampa Bay area, like the Lightning are called the Lightning capital of North America for a reason. And if there's some kind of storm in February, I am a little terrified to see how this could turn out. I know they have the tents that they're preparing to cover the ice, in case there are any issues, but I don't know how it's going to work that once they pull the tent off, they get the game started and then, a storm pops up. So there's a lot of excitement, but there are so many question marks that are bouncing around in my head all at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's just cool. They've definitely been like changing up like the locations too. They've been going over now at the Winter Classic, so in the Stadium Series show. Now, it should definitely be an interesting game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want to ask you about Victor Hedman. Still, up there in age now, but he's still got it. Still amongst the top defensemen in the game. But there's some question marks, in terms of where he ranks today. Where would you put him? Victor Hedman is a top what defenseman, would you say?
Top 10.
Top 10?
I think that's still fair. Like, I'm not going to put him in the Norris finalist rankings, but just still his consistency. He's had a bit of an offensive resurgence the last couple of years, which is always valuable as a defenseman. He brings the leadership to the table. Even at his age, he's getting to his late 30s. Maybe not his late 30s, at mid 30s.
Yeah, I think so.
Think about it. But the point's still there that even as he gets up there, he's still bringing consistency. Like, he's not going to necessarily win the Norris when you got guys like Makar and Quinn Hughes in this league now. But top 10, I'd still say, is a very reasonable place to put him.
Yeah, I'm just checking stats last year. Yeah, he's still up there, close to a point per game, right? 66 points. That's impressive. So, another one guy I want to ask about that Tampa brought in last year is Jake Gensel. Seemed like he had a solid impact on the team, especially in a power play role. And his hockey IQ is definitely up there. Just his impact on the team so far through his first season. What do you expect of him in year two? Yeah.
I think it's very similar to what we saw last year should be the reasonable expectation. Like, I think we've gotten past the question marks of how he can, fill in the role of Stamkos from his departure. Works very well with Kucherov on the top line. I think he's helped improve the 5-on-5 performance as well. Stamkos, as great as he is, he's a future Hall of Famer. Like, his skill set was sitting in the circle on the power play. And Gensel, I think, just helps make it a little more dynamic, which they need now that there's a little lack of depth. And it showed in the playoffs, too, as they shut down Kucherov. Gensel was one of the guys who's still getting a point per game against the Panthers.
I think Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about a future Hall of Famer in Victor Hedman. We can also talk about another future Hall of Famer in John Cooper. His status as Lightning head coach was very, how would you say, up in the air this year. There was a lot of rumors of him going around. What are your thoughts on Coop in the short-term future?
If you're the Lightning, you need to find a way to keep him around as long as possible. I almost forgot about those Utah rumors, actually, until you brought them up. Definitely sweating bullets. Like, I was never sure how valid they were, But in the end, like, it's a promotion if you're going to get one of those front office roles. And if Cooper was genuinely considering it, I wouldn't blame him. Like, as a coach, you have to wonder, like, what more else could he do? He's won his cups. He has over 500 wins as a coach. He's been on multiple deep runs. And, you know, I'm sure there are teams out there that wonder, if you put him in the front office, what can he contribute as a hockey mind in that perspective, as opposed to coaching, you know, behind the bench. But where he stands with the Lightning, you gotta find a way to keep him around as long as possible, because in the end, the Bucks, it all starts with him. They love Coop. They rally around him. I would not be surprised if one of the reasons why they stay in playoff contention for as long as they do is because Cooper knows how to make the most of his players.
Yeah, longest tenured coach in the league.
And can I ask a follow up about Cooper?
Sure. I think I know what you're going to ask.
Another big thing with John Cooper is he's also the Canadian head coach for the Olympics next year. What kind of impact do you think he's had on the Canadian hockey?
Oh, that's a really good question. Probably just knowing that the impact he's had. That's all. I don't even. That's actually a really good question. You almost stumped me there. I'm going to get to that one.
We could circle back on that. I think in terms of coaching.
Now let's circle back on that one a little bit, because, I mean, the fact that he's coaching Team Canada just in general just shows the respect they have for him north of the border. I mean, he is from British Columbia. There, someone who they recognize the fact that he is able to, just the entire path he's gone. If he can do things with the Lightning, the AHL, the lower levels, all the way down to the high school level, you got to see that he is someone who's capable of leading you to a gold medal.
In terms of coaching, I want to ask you about Jeff Blashill. He was the assistant in Tampa the last 3 years, and just thoughts and impact he could have as the Blackhawks head coach based on what you saw during his time in Tampa.
Well, that'll remain to be seen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, he was one of those guys that a lot of Lightning fans were okay with seeing him go. I'm sure with, maybe in a different role, he's able to pass off certain duties to other guys, maybe CEO it a little bit. But I hope, for his sake, I hope things go well. But he was unfortunately someone that, while he departed for a head coaching role, and I'm sure he's more than deserving of it, he was someone that a lot of Lightning fans, unfortunately, were, happy to see him walk away and, have some change among all.
Yeah, I remember checking some, the posts on social media, where the Tampa was, thanking him, and I just checked the comment section. The fans didn't seem too upset about his departure. And I know Sergachev, during his time in Tampa, he's of Utah now, I know he didn't have the best comments either. But again, that's just, that's just that. So hopefully you think, learned a lot under John Cooper, being, under his tutelage the last few years. So hopefully as Hawks fans, that'll work out from that standpoint. But we shall see. But a play I want to ask you about. This is a guy, there's a phrase where, if everybody says you're underrated, you're no longer underrated. I think that applies to Braden Point. This is a guy who used to be underrated, but I feel like now is kind of getting his due. Had the quietest 50-goal season of all time a couple of years ago. Just general, thoughts and impact he's had on this team. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, there's no way he's underrated. He's one of the top players on this team. You score 40 goals multiple times, you're considered a top 20, at the worst, top 30 player in the league. You're an all-star. He is properly rated at this point. That's why it's almost, what else is there to say with him? He's you like to maybe see what else he can do, maybe get to another 50-goal season. But he's properly rated as someone who's top 25 in the league.
That's high praise. Damn. Top 25, yeah. I know as Hawks fans, I think I see some point comps with, I know you brought this up before, Nolan, with Frank Nazar. Maybe he could be that type of player one day.
Yeah,
that would be nice for us. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about this. The Isaac Howard situation and what went down there. The Hobie Baker winner last year and involved in the Sam O'Reilly trade, as you mentioned. And just, what happened there?
The reality is, we almost don't fully know,
at
least publicly, what went down. From what I have heard, Howard tried to go on Spin Chicklets and say it wasn't an NHL ready, wanting to go to the NHL now, and then suddenly you hear on another end that he wanted to go to the NHL now, and the Lightning wanted to go to the AHL first, and that wasn't the case. And whatever it led to, there was some kind of disagreement that he was just not going to sign that entry level contract, and the Lightning had to figure out what to do to avoid settling for a second round pick when the waiting period lapsed. I'm sure over time more will come out, but right now it just seems like there was just it was just publicly there was some kind of disagreement, and people will have their theories. They'll roll with whatever. I wish there was a full rundown I could give you outside of that. Outside of it, it was just a very tricky situation, and we were on the edge of our seats wondering how it was all going to play out. And I think the Lightning were fortunate to work out a deal with Edmonton and find a way to get a two-way player in Sam O'Reilly.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the best for Isaac Howard up in Edmonton. Hopefully his career can, start off on a good path there, because it doesn't seem like the Lightning were amiable in some ways to his situation.
Yeah, change of scenery could do him
that
wonders.
could always do wonders for a player. I wanted to ask about, since the departure of Isaac Howard, like what prospect in the Lightning system has that benefited the most in terms of opening up a spot for competition? Like who's benefited the most from this in the Lightning system?
So I'm going to go with two answers. One, that's just my personal opinion, and one based on just how much he's gotten more attention as of late. The one that I would personally talk about is Dylan Duke. He's already made his NHL debut. I almost said Major League debut. I blame the MLB Speedway Classic discussion from earlier. He made his NHL debut last year. Already has a goal. He's shown progress every single year. I believe he had 20 goals with Syracuse last year. I think he's someone who has a chance now to jump into that bottom six and take really establish himself. The other one who's really garnered more attention lately is Jack Finley. He has been in the AHL for a few years, just signed a three-year extension with the Lightning. And when healthy, he has shown progression each year. If you look at the raw numbers with him, you're not going to be super impressed, because it'll be like, oh yeah, there's like, for example, 40 points one year, 35 another. But if you do the math based on number of games played, it's like, all right, he went from, let's say, a third of a point per game to 4/5 to a half. You get where I'm going with that. He also brings a lot of size to the table. He is a forward who is almost the size of Victor Hedman. And Victor Hedman is not a small person.
No.
I'm 6'1", for example, and I'm looking all the way up to make eye contact with Victor Hedman if I were to get the chance to get that close to him.
Let's see.
So
6'7", 245. Jeez.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you have a forward who is that size. I think that will help just. And the reason to look out for him, I think that helps open up too, is like the Lightning need to get a little bit bigger, especially with the way they've been pushed around by the Panthers. And I think with Isaac Howard out of the way, you can move your focus to guys like Finley who can contribute in that way.
Yeah.
No.
One final question from the off-cam producer here. Last year was the first year without longtime Lightning captain Steven Stamkos. Yeah, I beat you to it. What do you think the impact was on that on the season last year, the first without Stamkos, and how much do you think he would have helped last year in the playoffs?
Anytime you lose someone who's been with the team since 2008, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It was an emotional return when he was back in town with Nashville. You like to think, even though things with him haven't gone super well in Nashville, that if he was still on the Lightning, he could make some kind of impact. I mean, you go back to the year before, he was one of the only guys getting the job done against Florida when they lost in 5. And I think in a situation where somehow he's still in town and maybe Gensel still has a presence on this team as opposed to being the successor, maybe he still is making a strong impact, because then you have two potential 40-goal scorers who are capable of getting it done on multiple lines as opposed to just all the way at the top. Plus, the leadership aspect is very valuable. Like the more you read through like his farewell message that was posted by the PA sometime last summer, you just really know like how passionate he was about being with the Lightning in the Tampa area and just wanting to keep the whole team together. There's definitely, and while the team, did improve from the year before without him there, there's definitely some kind of absence of just having Stamkos there, not just as the future Hall of Famer on the ice, but just the presence of who he is as a person in the locker room.
You think he could still bounce back and work out there in Nashville? Obviously, year one didn't go the way he wanted, but it feels like he's due for a bounce back. Yeah.
I think he is. And he started to play a little bit better as the season went on last year with Nashville. I think they'll regroup, figure out how to make this work. And even if they're not necessarily a playoff contender, I do think they are a better team than what they were last year. This was a team that got a wild card the year before, and the idea was they were adding those big veterans to go on a run, and that's just not what happened. I think still we'll see if maybe like Shea and Marsh or so, they can go in and take steps forward too and really elevate the team. But I think Stamkos for sure, just based on the progression that we saw from him last year in Nashville, you'll just see a general better year out of him regardless of how the team does.
Well, as Hawks fans, we can relate to the pain of watching your franchise player play for a different team.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Harrison. You've been super gracious with your time, and thank you for coming on the show. And you're welcome back for sure in the future. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a lot of fun today.
Awesome,
Yeah,
for sure.
good
Best
to
of luck
hear
with the
it.
Thank
season
you.
ahead.
Take care.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is Harrison from the Hockey Writer covering the Tampa Bay Lightning. Some good Bolts talk in there, who will play a couple times this season. Betsy's up and at his best games against the Bolts. He does some pretty good games against them.
Yeah,
I remember his rookie year,
the
he had that
Panthers
2
as
goal,
well.
2 assists, 4-point game. Yeah, Florida, he loves Florida.
Yeah,
he loves
He
cooking
loves
in
that
Florida.
Southeast
trend
too.
there.
If you look at the Carolina games from a couple years ago too, when he was stunning on Spencer Martin.
That's right. Yes, very true. All right, I think it's time to get to some NHL news. We definitely got some to cover. A lot of Jersey talk today. A lot of Jersey
Love it.
talk.
Love
I
it.
will say, a little fishy. Yesterday, we'll get to the one thing from yesterday first.
little
Then we'll
fishy,
get to
I
the one
see you.
from today. The Minnesota Wild dropping some throwback jerseys yesterday. I will say, pretty sick. But the jerseys itself are pretty sick. I just have to say, I find it very curious that this just happens to come out while they're dealing with all this Kirill Kaprizov contract drama.
Yeah.
It does seem like a little bit of a, dare I say, distraction.
Like
A little bit.
like Fleury signing with the Penguins after all the
Crosby
rumors.
talk, like, oh,
here's
yeah.
your buddy, here's your buddy Flower.
Sidney
He's
Crosby
back.
trade rumors. Hey, look, here's Fleury for a random preseason game. Speaking of Fleury, we will be seeing him this weekend as he brings back the yellow pads, and we'll be getting into game action pretty soon. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing Flower preseason hockey, but we can get to that
it'll be
more
fun
later.
to see him back on the ice with the Penguins.
But no, these are
Blackhawks legend Marc-Andre Fleury.
That's right.
These are definitely some nice throwback jerseys when the Wild first came to the league in '97. They look sick. Or Kaprizov looks sick in it. It might be the only year you get to watch Kaprizov in those jerseys if you're a Wild fan. We shall see about that.
They also just could be using him just for this season.
Could be, yeah. Or maybe they think the jerseys are so nice they'll convince Kaprizov to stay. Yeah.
You never know. I thought it was kind of funny when they released the pictures that he was turning. He had his back turned.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Get
So
those lights off.
I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing,
right.
don't you think?
Maybe.
He's turning his back on Minnesota and he's leaving elsewhere.
We're probably being delusional right now, but as Hawks fans, we could hope. But I just think we got to get into this quote here because this quote is very interesting from Minnesota Wild owner Craig Leopold on the Kaprizov contract situation. He was quoted saying, "Nothing to gain and everything to lose." I mean, is that the type of thing you say if you're feeling super confident about getting a deal done soon? Maybe it is, but
Is he also wrong?
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
I'm just saying that just doesn't seem like what you would say if this was running smoothly. If it was running smoothly, obviously we would have already got a deal done.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's still shocking me that 8x16 didn't get the job done. So, yeah, we'll continue to wait and see what happens there with that situation. If the Wild can get a deal done before the season starts.
I would say I don't think there is nothing to gain from it. I mean, if this is all sorted out before the season starts, I feel like that takes a tremendous stress off of your locker room, does it not?
yes.
Oh, it absolutely does.
I mean, you can't tell me this isn't a distraction in the room. You can't tell me that.
Yeah, I just think that's an egregious quote that there's nothing to gain from sorting it out now. I mean, obviously it's past that point and we're not going to see a resolution until spring or summer is likely in my eyes at least.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
Yeah, there was plenty to gain from getting this sorted before the season starts.
They still could. But as each passing day goes by, it does put the pressure on from that standpoint.
Yeah.
It just raises the questions until it gets done. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with Kaprizov. And again, as Hawks fans, I think we'll just keep hoping it doesn't go well. Speaking of throwback jerseys, the San Jose Sharks today, it looks like they just saw what the Wild did yesterday and just brushed off their old 90s jerseys in the closet and just slapped a new one on. Because there's nothing nothing really new going on here with
Yeah.
these jerseys. They're basically just a carbon copy of the '90s ones.
I'm not a big fan of those either.
You don't like those? No, I will say I like those jerseys. They're sick. But
I don't like the gray going on in there. It's
yeah, it just does that not seem like? I mean, the San Jose Sharks just continue to be PR media merchants there. Does that not just look like a PR move?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the Sharks were like, "Hey, I want to do it. Like, let me in on this."
Yeah.
Like, Wild dropped their jerseys, and San Jose is like, "You know what? I see you and I raise you."
How can we make this about me?
Exactly. Like, pick me.
So I wanted to pose a question to you guys. Out of the however many teams it is, I don't have the exact number, but out of the new jerseys that have come across the league this year, which one are you most excited to see on the ice besides the Centennial Blackhawks one?
Dang it.
I wasn't even going to say the Blackhawks Centennial. I'm not even going to do home cooking here. Like, they're not that. They're not that.
They're-
not
They
that
need to
good.
bring back the
They're
black
mid.
jersey.
Like 'em.
they're very simply done.
Like,
that's,
the
that's the
jerseys-
simplest one
you know,
that they did.
let me
out of
explain
all
myself.
the Centennials.
It's a nice jersey. It's not original. Like, they just took the
Yeah.
current home jersey and just slapped some gold outlines on it and said, "Here's our Centennial jersey." I might be in the minority there. It looks nice. I like the details, but you look at what the Rangers did, what the Red Wings did. I just feel like they were a little more original and different with their Centennial
And then you go
designs.
back a couple
Yeah.
more years and you look at what the Bruins did.
Yeah, like they had an historical feel,
Yeah.
right? Like the Canadians at least 10 years ago as well. Like it just feels like the Hawks just didn't really try from that regard. They just thought if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which to be fair, like it's a good
be
looking
fair,
jersey.
yeah.
And I probably will waste money on it, but it would have been nice to see him try something a little different, something a little more their 20s, 30s roots, like when they first came to the
Yeah.
league.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, it is a
what I was-
Centennial jersey from 100 years ago. Like you probably should
Yeah.
try something.
Honor the
That's
1926
not a
jersey.
modern looking jersey, right?
Right.
Like,
Or just
yeah.
honor, the 1990s in a chance and bring back the black jerseys.
I was literally just about to say that. Give the people what they want and bring back the black jerseys.
I mean, how long have you been thinking about this? The last 15 years?
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Especially those black Winter Classic jerseys.
no. I'm talking about like the
I know,
1990s
I
black
know.
jerseys. Like those
No,
are
I know you
sweet.
are.
Yeah.
I know you are, but still, those Winter Classic jerseys are clean.
Which one? There's been like 20 of them.
Oh my gosh.
The Red Wings, the Wrigley Field
Yeah.
ones,
Yes.
the black with the circle over.
I do have a
Yeah.
cane one of those.
Those are the best,
Yeah.
I'd say.
yeah.
But to answer your question, Nolan, I would probably say the Wings.
Yeah,
I
I
like
was
I like
gonna
I like
say
the
the
Wings
Wings.
Centennial jersey.
Okay.
I like the detail. I'm looking forward to seeing Kane. I mean, we've already seen Kane in the jersey, but I'm looking forward to seeing him playing it.
Yeah,
for
I would
sure.
agree on that.
Yeah.
Charlie?
I would. So for goalie reasons, I'm gonna go the New York Rangers.
Yeah, that's a
because
good
have
one.
you seen Jonathan Quick new pads? His Vaughn
I
pads.
have
this
not.
year?
Set up.
They are like the sickest set of goalie pads I've seen. So I can't wait to see the Rangers. Honestly, just to see those on the ice.
Yeah. Nat, your thoughts?
I said the Red Wings.
Red Wings.
Yeah.
Okay.
The-
I really do like the Wild jerseys. I think
Mm-hmm.
those are sweet, and I also do like the Capitals bringing back the Screaming Eagle.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot of jersey
Yeah.
drops.
I do like the Screaming Eagle. I wish they brought back that colorway though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's cool.
The black colorway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would look so good. I mean,
And I think one that's
potentially like this is the.
What do you think
last
about the
year.
Oilers alternates? Those
I'm
ones,
not
they're
a
kinda
fan.
mid-
I'm not a fan.
Oilers?
Yeah.
I think they would look great without that orange line.
yeah.
Orange line ruined
Yeah.
it.
I think it was if it was just the Oilers in the cursive across the chest without those two little orange lines that are
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I think it'd look a lot better.
I think one that's gone under the radar a little bit. The Seattle Kraken.
Ooh.
The Seattle Kraken alternate jerseys that glow in the dark.
Yeah.
How
That's pretty
sweet
cool.
is that? I mean, obviously you're going to be playing hockey under the lights at Climate Pledge Arena, but when you go into the pregame intro, they're going to be glowing on the ice. I think that's absolutely sick.
It's pretty cool. I'll give them
Yeah.
credit for that, but I mean, it's not like it's going to be doing that during the game. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to help him on the ice. Either.
Everything about that franchise is just mid. It doesn't move me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Boring.
Yeah, I have a little bit of Kraken lore too.
Oh,
I was
okay.
actually asked to try out for their version of the White Sox Pride Crew. It's called the Sea Squad.
Ooh.
Over the summer, I got the email and they asked me to apply, but I was in North Carolina for AUSL, and it just wasn't the tryout was maybe the day after I got home from that, and I'm I'm not booking a last minute flight to Seattle to do this.
Yeah.
I've got some cousins over there. You could have stayed there.
Yeah, probably. But honestly, I was thinking about it after you started talking about Quick's goalie pads, but I wanted to pose a question to you guys again. Which NHL goalie helmet art do you think is the best?
Ooh, I feel like that's tough. I feel like any Hawks goalies had a pretty good setup. They're not to be biased to the Blackhawks here, but
Home cooking.
I always like kind of what they got going for like the feathers on the helmet. Like, I know
Yeah.
Crow had some really nice setups back in the day, so I'd probably say that Flower had a nice one when he was here. He had a really good setup for the 3/4 season he was here. So I'd probably say that. Yeah.
I'll take it. I really like what Freddie Anderson had. Anderson had like a little Lego character on the back because he's from Denmark, and that's where the Lego factory is from. I think that was sweet.
I don't know why I'm cracking up here. I could just think of Natalie and the Seattle Fry crew going, "Let's get cracking."
Oh my god!
Can I also share a little bit of Kraken lore?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, so I believe it was for the 2022 Olympics. I asked for a jersey for Christmas. This is also at the point where we thought that NHL players were going to be back. Obviously, they weren't going to be back. The jersey didn't come at Christmas. The jersey, they emailed my mom, I believe, in March, saying like, hey, we still have an order for a jersey, but we don't know who's going to be on the back of it. Who do you want on the back? And the one person I thought of, Matty Beniers. So I have
You're
Matty
a big Beniers guy.
I'm just a big Beniers guy just because of the jersey. Like I should have thought of Comesso, but obviously Comesso was a little bit more of an unknown at that point. In hindsight, I probably would have gotten a Comesso jersey. CHR legend, Drew Comesso. But yeah, no, I think I made a pretty smart choice with the Beniers jersey. I'd say so.
Yeah, a Calder winner, and I'm not really sure where he's been since then. But
That's just the Kraken, right?
yeah, that's what they do to you, right?
Yeah, they
He's
just
been lost at sea.
Nice one.
Release the Kraken.
Oh god.
Black Pearl.
Oh boy, we've done way too much Seattle Kraken talk today. Let's stop talking about the Kraken.
Honestly, before we go back to NHL talk, I kind of want to give a shout out to not to again push Brother Rice propaganda.
Oh boy.
On anyone,
the wrong CCL team.
but
You're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
the wrong. Come on, you guys. But my brother's best friend, his name is Nikki, the one who was on FaceTime when my brother desperately wanted to FaceTime Justin.
Oh, yeah.
He had on the back of his helmet, it was custom made, and it said, "Thou shall not score."
Oh, that's
That's kind of
I
nails.
have a picture of it, and it is so raw.
That's pretty nails.
It was clean, and he was such a good goalie, or he is such a good goalie. I mean, like, he's not the tallest kid, but he is a brick wall.
How much goals he let up against Ignatius?
Honestly, I have no idea.
What about Loyola?
No one cares about
No
Ignatius.
idea.
It's all about.
But
It's all about that right there.
It's all about the D.
Get that out of here. What is that?
That's unreal that you brought the jersey here today. That's unreal.
We play Fenwick football today. We need a win. We're 0-5, I believe, for football in the year.
Had they at least scored a
Go
touchdown?
De La Salle Meteors. We did score 2 touchdowns against
Wow.
Marmion last
Wow,
week.
okay.
We lost 28-14, but hey, first points of the season in your 4th game. Congrats, De La Salle football. So
There you
let's
go.
keep it up.
Oh, shout out to
That means we're scoring 28 this
shout
week.
out to the CCHL. And,
shout out to Eddie Cheapy. Yeah,
yes, Eddie Chibi. Eddie Chibi, the varsity player now. Good
Yeah.
job.
Well, he got the call up.
Stick
He got the call up.
Stick
Yeah.
taps.
His
Call
major,
up.
with his major league debut.
Yes. He doesn't necessarily know like when or if he's going to be double rostered or whatever.
Just gonna do both.
Yeah, and then shout out Nicky DiPasquale. I mean, he was a very big part of the Brother Rice JV D Christina Cup run. Like I said, that boy is a brick wall. Nothing really gets past him, and yeah, they're outstanding. All right, guys, let's
get back to the-
on track.
I
We have
wanted
to see
to.
these guys in action sometime.
I wanted to
Alright.
mention my favorite goalie helmet.
Yeah, go right ahead.
yeah.
It's honestly like not even like a joke, but this is a good coincidence here because my favorite is Jonathan Quick's LA one with the
That's your favorite?
the
crown?
The
Yeah,
crown.
that's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
it's-
That's
it's
pretty
a
nice.
nice
I'll give it
helmet.
to you. That's awesome.
That's really
It's so
awesome.
That's
cool.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the helmet thing, that was a great style. I mean, he had like 3 or 4 iterations of it,
Yeah.
but like every helmet, Knight's helmet. that
Oh,
he
you know what?
did
A good
was
one?
so
Eddie
good.
Balfour in the 90s with the Hawks.
Yeah.
The Eagle. Eddie the Eagle. I just
Screaming
slapped
Eagle.
the microphone.
One of my favorite Hawks ones growing up was Nikolai Hobby-Bulin because it had the Bulin on the chin there. It was absolutely unreal.
Sook 'em that.
I guess that could tee up a little bit of NHL talk. We were talking about this in the interview with Harrison. Thank you so much, Harrison, for coming on again.
Yes.
That was a great interview.
Not Harrison from Dexter.
Yeah, no,
But
he said he really enjoyed coming on, and we really enjoyed having you. Harrison,
absolutely.
So.
Thank
W
you.
guest. I want W Harrison.
W Harrison.
W Harrison.
Stick taps.
Stick taps. All right. So the first question that we asked here was about Alexander Barkov and the big injury with Alexander Barkov. Obviously, you're going to the banner night against the Chicago Blackhawks.
And there's not going to be a Barkov, and there's not going to be a Tkachuk. So the
maybe we have a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance.
I know the Hawks are going to win opening night. I just can't prove it yet.
Last I checked, the Panthers were like minus 360 money line favorites in that game, which is absurd for hockey, especially
Look,
for
they're
opening
so banged up,
opening
though.
night before we like really get a feel for the league.
They're so banged up. Like, I think the Hawks
we
can
might
take
have
that
to take
one.
the Hawks.
I
plus,
think they're
honestly,
banking on a
plus 1.5 for the Hawks.
He who must not be named revenge game.
We will not.
But
be
at the
there.
same time,
Spencer
you look at
Knight
it.
Clears
Spencer Knight revenge game.
Shutout on
Yeah.
tap.
Oh, you better knock right now. You better knock right now.
No, but in all seriousness, though, like this is brutal news for Florida because I mean, it sounds like with Barkov could be ACL, and I think it sounds like it's not confirmed. I don't know, but it sounds like he's probably going to be out for the season, likely knee surgery. So,
But I mean, at the same time, you look at it. Obviously, Barkov is a massive part of their team. He's their captain. But I mean, that's why you re-sign a guy like Sam Bennett. You keep a guy like Anton Lundell. So now you got a 1-2 center pairing of Sam Bennett and Anton Lundell. Which I mean, if you look at it in the free agency, there were talks of Sam Bennett becoming a 1C at some point.
yeah, I mean, it's the Florida Panthers have great depth, but this is freaking Sasha Barkov. This is a top 10 player in the game.
Yeah.
Probably the best. You could argue the best two-way player in the game. He's
I would
he's
say
owned
so,
Selke
yes.
last few years. So it's not like they're losing. I don't know, like Luster in here. So
yeah,
I mean, it's I think they're still going to be in the playoffs, right? Even with all their their banged up injuries and all the hockey they play, it's still going to be a playoff team. But the fact that it's probably out for the season, they probably won't have him for the playoffs either. Like that's a tough guy to be without. But if any team can find a way, it's the Panthers.
If any team can,
it's them.
It's Florida. Yeah.
take the brunt of that.
They'll find a way.
I mean, like they had a guy who scored 31 points in the regular season and did not play in the playoffs at all for them. So like
that's insane.
What it was, Samoskovich, yeah. So
Samoskevich, yeah.
Samoskevich.
Mackey.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, if there's any team that can throughout the season, just all you have to do is get in. That's the thing. The Panthers, they don't need to win their division.
They just need to get in.
They need to get into the playoffs, and then they'll become the Panthers.
I mean, you look at 2023. Look at how they got into the playoffs. They got into the playoffs because of the Blackhawks being the Penguins.
Literally the last minute, and they went all the way to the final.
They went all the way to the final, and then they were banged up. Tkachuk obviously had the broken clavicle, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I mean, you just got to get into the dance, right?
Yeah.
The Blackhawks are really the reason why the Panthers made it to 3 straight finals and went back to back.
You're welcome,
That's
Florida.
what you're telling me?
You're welcome.
Yeah, they should be thanking us.
You're welcome.
I mean, they did thank us, but we won't get into that.
They took our trash too. Exchanging. Whoa. I'm having I'm having an episode. Exchanging. There we go. You got it. Trash for treasure.
There you go.
I like it.
That took a while. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, you got there in the end. You got there in the end.
So I guess I want to tie this to the Blackhawks because the Blackhawks also do have their 2026 first round pick. Do you think that? How much effect do you think that has on them?
How does this affect the Blackhawks?
Yeah,
We're really going
here. We're a Blackhawks show, man.
Yeah. No.
I don't think it's going to affect it that much because as long as they get to the playoffs, they're probably going to go in a deep run anyway. So I mean, it could have a slight effect to help the draft pick.
Hey, but it doesn't have to be 32, does it?
No, it might not. I mean,
that difference between 32 and 29, wherever they land, and then obviously you look at what happened with Tampa the 2 years that we had their first round pick. It was 18 and 20.
Yeah. I don't think the Panthers type of team to lose in the first round. But I will say,
crazier things have happened.
I will say with Barkov out, I don't know if they're the favorites anymore. Like it's still the Florida Panthers, but no Barkov, they're not the Stanley Cup favorites. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I think you're right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Who becomes the Cup favorites now,
Dallas.
especially in the East? Like who's going to take them
Dallas.
down? But in the East, though.
Oh, in the East?
Yeah.
I mean, can Carolina actually win a couple of games in the conference finals or
they're
what?
Such a regular season team. Like, they're going to be there. They're going to be.
But they also added a guy like Nikolai Ehlers, so that's that's going to help. I mean, getting a full year of Logan Stankoven, that's also going to help.
Is this Toronto's opportunity?
Yeah. Do we have to mention them?
I think they definitely are benefit from this.
More in the conversation now with Barkov out. So the East is kind of up for grabs depending how the Panthers are able to sink or swim throughout this injury.
But then you look at Toronto again, and they lost Marner. That's huge.
Yes. I'm gonna be curious to see how they look without Marner, who made his preseason debut with the Vegas Golden Knights last night, and a nice assist to Jack Eichel. I'm sure we'll see that plenty this year. But yeah, that's gonna be a story to watch all year, is how they deal with that. How Matthews deals
Another
with that.
team in the East, the New York Rangers.
I'll be honest. I'm not moved by the Rangers. They might bounce back, but I don't really see them as a cup team.
I mean, here's the thing: you just got to get into the dance. They've already gone to the conference final within the last couple of years. They lost to Tampa in, I believe, 22.
Correct.
22. And I mean, you look at what the Rangers did. They upgraded, in my opinion, from Keandre Miller to Vladislav Gavrikov. I just think that if Igor's on his game, he's the best goaltender in the world. And good goaltending gets you far in the playoffs.
Yeah, I do see the possibility of them. I just feel like there's a wide range for their season. Like I think they need to have a lot of things really go right and look different than last year. And if they all don't go as planned, it won't take full fruition.
Yeah, I think
it's a solid group of players, but it's about putting it all together. And I don't know if the stars align for them quite this year, like Justin's thinking as well.
Will the stars align for Dallas?
That's a team that I really think could be representing the West in the Cup final.
They've been knocking on the door way too much. I just think you got to let them in at some point.
I think it's the Stars or the Oilers that end
could
up
this be the year that both the Stars and the Canes break through their conference finals and meet up in the Cup final?
I mean, what
do you think about a Dallas Carolina Cup final?
Rantanen.
Oh, that'd be the Mikko Rantanen Stanley Cup. Yeah, the Logan Stankoven Stanley Cup. Yeah,
I'm sure Gary Bettman would just love that. Yeah.
All right, but here's my take on Dallas. I think they've got on his day a top 5 goaltender in Jake Ottinger. You've got really good 1-2 defenseman in Thomas Harley and Miro Heiskanen. And then you also add a full season of Mikko Rantanen. Yeah. You add, Wyatt Johnston, Mr. Game 7 now. You got Jason Robertson, and if he can bounce back to that 100-point pace.
Extend him, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they can extend him, though.
I've seen it. Like they don't want that contract to look like the Mikko Rantanen contract.
No, absolutely not. I don't think even though they could be on the same caliber of player if they go back.
Mikko Rantanen is a much better hockey player than Jason Robertson.
If you look at it, Jason Robertson a couple of seasons ago had 110 points.
The last 2 years he's been
he's still been point per game.
He's not Mikko Rantanen though. Especially if not just the stats, but the complete game, the overall picture. Look at what Rantanen did against the
you could put Jason Robertson on penalty kill 1, you could put him on power play 1, and you got him on your top line forwards.
Was Jason Robertson even on the U.S. team and then the four nations?
Yeah, and he was absolutely snubbed. We've talked about this so many more times.
Yeah,
it was egregious.
Rantanen.
It was absolutely egregious that Jason Robertson was not on the Four Nations team.
But you're telling me he's on the same level as Mikko Rantanen? Are you kidding me right now?
That you think it's like this big?
It's right there.
It's like this big.
No, I'm with Nolan here. Like, oh my god. And they're gonna have to make a decision about who gets,
if Jason Robertson stays or not. I mean, that's a huge decision right now.
It is.
But I don't think Dallas can afford to lose that kind of caliber of player.
True, and some bad news has hit them too with Jamie Benn. We talk about the Barkov injury.
Yeah.
We've been remiss to mention the Jamie Benn injury. Collapsed lung.
Scary situation.
I know how that feels. I had a bit of a lung situation back in 2019 that put me in the hospital for a bit. I was going through.
But we're glad you're better now.
But I'm back now. So best of luck. Best of luck to Jamie Benn there. He will need surgery. We don't know about the timetable yet, but tough to lose a guy like that. That's your captain in the room. He could still produce 50 points around that. So, but the Stars, like the Panthers, have so much depth where they can make up for that. I still consider them a favorite. But that is tough news for them, and I think that puts more of impetus on getting the Robertson situation dealt with for sure. Absolutely. A little bit more Leafs talk here. We haven't talked about this yet. What about James Reimer?
Yeah, Optimus Rhyme. Welcome back to Toronto.
You think that has something to do with the Joseph Wall situation?
100%. 100%.
Because we don't know how long they're going to be without Joseph Wall. Took a leave of absence from the team for personal reasons. So James Reimer potential.
What do you think about this move? I mean, it's clearly just a move of familiarity. Bringing in a guy who they need to just fill in that spot for now. But I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it whatsoever. I don't think
there's a reason
I would
to.
be more confident as a Leafs fan going with James Reimer compared to Dennis Hildeby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just, he's not a bad like third stringer and for the moment backup option behind Stolarz. That's another guy to look at. We'll see what that contract extension looks like. They're waiting on to see what that looks like. But had a big season for Toronto last year and was definitely gonna be counted on a lot at least to start the season while they deal with the Joseph Wall situation. But no, James Reimer, former Leafs legend, played there from 2010 to 2016. I always remember that Bergeron goal in 2013, Game 7. But no, it's we'll see if he can earn a contract there and get some starts at the Leafs. I think it all depends on kind of what happens at the Wall situation.
Yeah.
At least to have him as a third string option of Dennis Hildeby. I don't think Leafs fans are moved by Dennis Hildeby getting more starts. So we'll see what happens there.
I don't know. Can they bring in David Ayers?
David Ayers, the return of David Ayers. We just lost to a Zamboni driver who works for the team. Steve Dingle reference.
Sorry, the correct term is actually ice technician.
Ice technician.
You would know, right?
He does a lot more than just drive the Zam boys.
You would know.
Yeah, he chips and edges the ice. You know that machine that goes around the edge?
He edges
It's called
the ice.
the edger, yeah.
Okay,
Fun fact.
okay.
Just you guys.
All right.
And that's been ice technician maintenance with Charlie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tune in for more.
Oh, that's amusing stuff. Yeah. All right, and then looking forward to seeing Flower make his preseason, not preseason debut, but return to action, in preseason hockey for the Pens this weekend. What do we expect out of Flower with his yellow pads? I will say he looks pretty sick.
Have
The setup's
they
pretty
announced
cool.
he's playing the full game? Or
I don't know if we know. I assume he is. I assume they're not just bringing back Flower to play a period. I imagine he's going to get the start for the game.
It's not going to be like his last game in Minnesota where he just played the overtime.
Yeah, I imagine it's a preseason. Just give him the game, right?
Yeah.
It's probably all he's going to play, unless he.
What's the worst that can happen? You lose a preseason game? Ooh.
Especially with the Penguins.
And again, the Penguins don't care about losing right now.
They don't have to tank in the preseason, right?
No, but I think they're starting.
You think they're already kind of man the battle stations there?
I think they're ready.
Yeah, we shall see what happens there for sure.
Get ready to learn the tank 4.0.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one for sure in the rain to watch.
He is playing the whole game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It's going to be his last hurrah right there.
Yeah, practicing today in preparation.
What do you guys think about what happens if this preseason game goes very well for him? Let's say, he's got over a 900 save percentage. He only allows, 2-3 goals or something like that. Would you sign him on a full year deal? Because in my personal opinion, I think he's way better than Tristan Jarry. I think he's way better than Alex Nedeljkovic.
But that's not what they're doing.
I don't think they're going to flip the script on, what this game is for him after if it's a solid performance. Because right now it's being,
They're dubbing it as his last
It's being
hurrah.
advertised his final NHL game and just, the 1 day professional tryout contract. And he just wanted to play one more game to wrap things up in Pittsburgh. But,
you never know.
I find
unless
it-
this guy has like a 40 save shutout or something and just
I-
plays so well to where they can convince him to come back in a full year.
It would take a whole lot to, reverse that entire decision that's already been made with the organization and with Fleury, I think. So,
It's a fun thought
I've seen
experiment.
crazier things in the movies.
Hey, it's hockey. It's NHL hockey. Anything could happen.
yeah.
I think we're living in Delulu land with that one, but hey, you never know. I think he could still play. I think
he'd be Pittsburgh's best goalie.
He clears Swiss cheese Jarry. That's like you said. With the glove hand there. I'm not sure what's going on
And
there.
not Alex Nedeljkovic. Nedeljkovic is with San Jose now.
Yeah, Chicago Wolves legend Nedeljkovic.
Oh, there you go.
I believe he was on that 2019 team, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on
there you
that.
go.
But yes, I think we should expand on Mitch Marner's first game as a Vegas Golden Knight. Man, he looks weird in that jersey, man. That's an odd look, but it seems like he's enjoying himself so far there. And him and Eichel are developing some chemistry together. I don't know if you saw that assist he had.
Yeah, it was a very nice assist. I would agree. What are your expectations for Marner this season?
I think, is there a player in the league who's going to have more of a, let's say, pressure-filled season than Mitch Marner? There's a few up there, but I think he has to have a big season. There are zero excuses here, man. Playing in that Vegas team, that's a cup contender, one of the cup favorites, and he's going to be playing with Jack Eichel. We're still waiting on what his deal is going to look like, what his extension is going to look like, but I think there's going to be big expectations there. I'm not necessarily for the regular season. He's coming off a 100-point year with Toronto, but we know it's going to be a playoff team. Can he flip the script? Can he show up in the playoffs on a team that has achieved success in the playoffs? That's going to be the question mark. Also, I'm going to be watching and comping the stats of him versus Matthews all year. Yeah. I think it's a big year for Matthews, too, to prove he could still put up as much output, if not more, without Marner.
And you can't forget, too, in Toronto, he's still got Willie Nylander.
Exactly.
it's
He's still got a lot to work with there. I think Matthews going to be fine, honestly.
Yeah.
If anything, I think this might give him the motivation he needs.
I think when you go into Marner, you also have to talk about Jack Eichel. You referenced it earlier. It is a contract year for Jack Eichel. So obviously players, tend to play better, trying to play for a contract. He hasn't gotten his contract yet. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility to see Mitch Marner put up another 100-point season with Vegas.
If anything, I think he should.
He should.
He doesn't have to, but he should.
If he doesn't score 90 points, people are going to be, all up in arms about the money he got paid and, why the team isn't on the right track if things aren't going well. But, I think 90 to 100 is a definite line for him to hit.
I think it's very doable. Normally we do Friday mailbag around this time. I don't think I'm gonna put my hand up and take the blame. I don't think I mentioned to put in Friday mailbag questions on the Wednesday show, so that's my fault. But normally every Friday you can DM the Chicago Hockey Radio page on Instagram and Chicago Hockey Radio on Discord. You could send in your questions and we'll answer your questions on Friday for the mailbag. None this week. That's my bad. But in terms of segments, we still got one more left. Weber's Wagers to seal the deal. What we got today, Charlie?
All right. Today's Weber Wagers, before we get into it, we have to read a brief disclaimer about gambling. Hold on one second. All right. I will disclaim you and proclaim it. All right. The following content may discuss topics related to gambling. Gambling can be addictive and not suitable for all individuals. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Please gamble responsibly and be aware of the risks.
Love that disclaimer.
Well done, Charlie. Excellent.
Music to my ears.
One of your best ones.
Thank you, Vig. All right. So we are going to start things off here with tomorrow in the Ryder Cup. We have international golf, ladies and gentlemen.
Love it.
Yes.
International golf is here. It's the best time of the year. If you want to be patriotic, but you don't really care about any other sports but golf, now is your time. Or if you just are just getting into golf and you want to see some of the best play in the world, the Ryder Cup this weekend, your best opportunity to kind of, get your bearing with the golf world. And
Murica clears.
Yeah, Murica clears. What's a kilometer? That's right.
USA for the win.
So tomorrow for the head-to-heads, we are taking Scotty Scheffler to win his matchup against the Team Europe player who is not currently announced because they reset the matchups every day. So
Happy Gilmore 2 legend, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, that's right. But yeah, after today, they'll reset the matchups. But no matter who he's going against on Team Europe, we are taking Scotty Scheffler to win his matchup tomorrow.
All right.
Just in New York, the U.S. is playing this tournament at home. He's going to be our top guy. So
shout out Stu Feiner for that video. Did you see that video?
Stu Feiner narrating for Golf Channel. That was so cool.
That's one of the coolest people I've ever met.
I was not expecting. You met him at Wrigley, right?
Yeah, I met him a couple weeks ago at Wrigley. Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll.
So Nolan Nor there. All right.
Yeah.
Promises made, promises delivered.
And that's what I'm hoping here.
Yeah, that's right. All right. And then we are sipping the juice again. I know we said we wouldn't do this, but since the Bears are underdogs against the lowly Las Vegas Raiders and Geno Smith.
All day, man.
Sorry, play that again.
But give me the Bears.
That's right.
Oh my
Bear
God.
down. What a sound clip there from Nolan.
That's a Nolan classic. Thank you.
Amazing.
That is outstanding.
Wow, well done, Nolan.
Thank you, thank
W
you.
Nolan
Thank
to
you,
the
Nolan.
chat.
Nolan.
W Justin for sending me that though.
Yeah, it was all me. Yeah, thank you.
Taps to the both of you.
I'm just a humble man. It's not me.
So yeah, just as you heard Connor Bedard let us know, give me the Bears. Give me the Bears. I don't care about Tom Brady and his broadcasting team ownership situation.
What's a Tom Brady?
I hate Tom Brady.
Yeah, me too, man.
There you go.
We are taking the Bears plus 1.5 points since they are underdogs out in Vegas.
Love it.
Caleb Williams is looking, finally like he should with Ben Johnson, and the defense played a solid game last week.
And Geno Smith isn't good.
Slowing down. Yeah, I don't see this slowing down against the Raiders.
No, and Ben Johnson mentioned it in his Monday morning press conference as well. That they were underdogs. So, I mean, you got bulletin board material right there.
That's great.
Actually, Charlie, would you mind if I hopped in for a Nolan wager on Weber's Wagers?
Let's do a celeb shot. Celeb shot
Celeb
wager.
shot.
Stealing your
over to
thunder.
Nolan here.
Hey,
I
you
like
know
it.
what? If he's allowing me to do it, I got to play the clip again.
But give me the Bears. All day, man.
All right, so here's my thing from the Bears. God damn. All right.
Dropping stuff over.
So the one of the big storylines that I look at in the Bears game this week, Rome Odunze making his
Anytime
return.
touchdown, yeah.
All right, Justin, come on. Let me explain it first. All right, he's coming back to where he went to high school, Bishop Gorman, one of the best football programs in the nation.
Bro, he went to Bishop Gorman.
He went to Bishop Gorman, yeah.
God, I do not like Bishop Gorman.
But I'm personally taking Rome Odunze anytime touchdown, a plus 145.
Really? That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm
called
doing.
Plus,
Yeah.
Wait, plus 145 for a guy who leads the NFL in receiving
I
touchdowns?
know, it's insane, isn't it?
That's nuts.
I mean, it's a Rome coming. All roads lead Rome.
Oh God.
I was at Rome this summer, yeah.
So I'm taking Rome Odunze plus 145 to score to touch Pater in his homecoming.
All right, we will be there. We will be there.
So there you go. We got Scheffler in his matchup tomorrow. We got the Bears plus 1.5, and then Nolan's celebrity pick, Rome Odunze, anytime touchdown scorer.
All right, bear down, baby.
We will
Let's
see
get
you on
consecutive wins.
Monday when the Bears are 2-2, and it'll all feel so good.
Get to 500, baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Thank you for allowing me to take a slip shot here.
Of course.
Yes, bear down. Biggest game of the weekend. Actually, no, sorry, third biggest. The two Hawks.
The two Hawks games.
The two
are
Hawks
right
games,
above
yeah.
them, yeah.
Absolutely. That would do it for this segment of Weber's Wagers, and I believe that would do it for CHR Friday. Good show today. Great guests. Great vibes all around.
Yeah.
We will be back Monday for week 4 of season 2 of CHR action. Another week of preseason Blackhawks hockey. And by that point, only a week to go before the regular season begins on Tuesday, October 7th against Florida. We will be there. Friendly reminder.
will be there.
Subscribe already. We're at 981. We're 19 away. Jonathan
today.
Tays away from 1,000 subscribers. And if you're listening to us wherever you get your podcasts, 5-star rating and review. We greatly appreciate that. Means a ton. Get your CHR merch drop, www.lithionetwork.com, and hype this video up on YouTube after it's live. We really appreciate that a ton. All right. See y'all later.
And hey, remember our little deal. about
That's
the
right.
That's right.
subscribers.
That's right. Yes.
1,000 subscribers by opening night, and Nat will face her fear of being at the sky deck of Sears Tower.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, we will be there.
We will all be there.
We will all
Maybe.
be there.
Only if you subscribe, though.
That's right. We'll see.
All right, guys, take care.
Take
Peace.
care.
Have a great weekend.